starting right here. Hey, everybody, welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is the legendary, the highly anticipated episode 444.
Oh my god, I didn't realize!
Oh my god.
Rip your dick out!
I mean, it would have been better if it was 4,444, but...
That's the next milestone.
What are you going to do?
That is the next milestone. Anyways, my name is Nick Henderson. Brad Simons is to my right.
Hello.
Nolan Hedstrom is also to my right.
Yep, everyone's to your right.
That's right. I gotta stop saying that.
Yep.
Or we're all on your left in a big circle.
You're right.
But
And
we're
to
not
my
in a
left is Krispy.
Hey.
And
Hey.
We have a lot of games to talk
A
about.
lot of games to talk
We've been
about.
playing more of The Witness. We're gonna talk about XCOM 2.
Oh, shit.
I played 4 different games to mark this occasion.
Damn.
Crispy's gonna tell us a little bit about Firewatch, some early impressions of the game, which I'm very excited. I'll be playing that on Friday.
Speaking of which, did anybody see that O.J. Simpson show?
no, I heard it's good though.
I mean,
O.J. Simpson has a
reviews
TV
are
show
good.
now?
I watched the first episode, and I'm like,
Have you looked at it on Rotten Tomatoes? It's got like 98%
I
on
know,
Rotten
and I'm
Tomatoes.
kind like maybe the first episode is just a little like
Is it filmed in a white Ford Bronco?
no, but
In
There's
the Bronco?
part of it.
maybe it's
There's
because
actually
I'm
a part-
older.
In the trailer, it shows like him in the back of the Bronco, like during the chase.
Maybe it's
at one
because
point.
I lived it.
He's
I just
driving?
feel like they're.
Or whoever.
What do you
was
think that
in the
makes
back.
you old? I was like in
No,
second grade.
he wasn't
when that
driving.
was-
It was somebody else was driving, and he was in the back with a gun.
Let me describe
I don't remember
it
that.
to you. It's not just like, oh, it's like, hey, look at that white Bronco. Look, it's a Bronco, a white Bronco. I wonder what's going to happen with that. Like,
Yeah.
at least the first episode, it's just like, we get it, okay? We know this is the thing. Like, calm down a little bit. Like, apparently O.J. Simpson's friend was like a Kardashian, the Kardashian kid's dad.
Dad, yeah, the lawyer, right?
But like,
Yeah, he was one of their defense.
Yeah, he was
one
a-
of the
yeah,
defense
yeah,
lawyers,
no, yeah, exactly. But I mean, I didn't know he was. I mean, I didn't put the two together,
Sure,
right?
sure,
There's a very distant. And the thing is, it's like they're constantly bringing up like the kids' names. Yeah.
Here's little
It's like okay, I get it. Yeah, Kim Kardashians, but like, you know, there's a scene where like, I mean, can I spoil one thing from the first
I mean,
episode?
he kills someone.
It's all history, right?
Supposedly. Well, like O.J. Simpson like grabs a gun, he's gonna like shoot himself in the head. This is like when they're about to arrest him or whatever. He's just freaking out, and like Ross, who plays the Kardashian dad,
Yeah.
is like, no, just don't do it in Kim's room. It's almost like they're like winking at the fucking camera. It's like, we get it, okay? We get it. We know. Just calm down a little bit. A little bit of the writing quality is sacrificing in an effort to remind us that, hey, the white Bronco.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, but
Is there one scene where there's just like a white Bronco, like a horse in the background? It just gallops past.
all I'm
man.
saying is I think those bumps they can get over in the first episode,
Yeah.
and they can start being good when it becomes more of like the trial, the police procedural
That's
and
the
stuff.
exact thing I thought about with Gotham. Because in the first episode,
There you
they kept
go.
having they had poison ivy, and they had like
There you
know,
go.
they just fucking had all this shit in the first one. I'm like, are you done? And the thing was, they weren't.
No.
And so that's why I stopped
You had
watching.
to bring that up,
Not
huh?
every show is going to be as spectacularly special as Gotham. Like,
I'm just saying that's
You know?
because he's just talking about how they're making all these
Yeah,
little fucking
they're
nudge,
just-
nudge, wink, winks
yeah.
in the first episode.
they're trying so hard to rope in.
Yeah,
their
they're like
viewership.
everyone who's like,
Yeah.
oh, I get that reference. They're trying to get them to stick around.
That's O.J. Simpson. You don't know him? He's the dude. He's in that Naked Gun movie. We get it. Okay?
I
We
forgot
get it.
he's a Naked Gun.
Yeah.
Well, the fucking show reminds you.
It does.
Yes.
The juice.
Really?
It's just the writing can be a little awkward. Now again,
Please tell me they show a scene from Naked Gun, but with Cuba Gooding Jr.
No.
in it, like
that was,
superimposed.
I was hoping for some stuff like that, but no.
Because that would be crazy.
How is Cuba?
He's good, I guess. I don't.
Doesn't he pronounce it Cuba?
Cuba. I don't think I've seen him in anything since Snow Dogs.
Oh shit. Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor was before Snow Dogs.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe
man.
it's just after watching Making a Murderer.
Really?
After watching Making a Murderer, maybe this is just coming off a little hammy.
The timing is
You know what I mean?
you know, a
Impeccable.
little.
Like, oh, these cops are so corrupt. Yeah, whatever. That's Ross. I mean, well, he's not even a cop, but whatever. It's fucking Ross. It's weird.
Oh, fucking David Schwimmer?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was in that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the
Oh.
Kardashians' dad.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Please, just not in Kimmy's room. There's a part where like two little girls are running around. They're like, "Oh, come! Oh, there's Chloe and
I don't know.
and
Does he talk?
Karen.
Does he talk about the new video camcorder he got for Kim?
what?"
Okay, we've spent way too much time.
No, like that was the jokes we were making back and forth, like
Yeah.
of like, "Oh man, I hope one day she doesn't end up in a porno video." Like they were like this close to saying stuff like that.
Wow.
I feel like,
Wow.
but I'm being a jerk.
Man,
Okay,
sorry,
sorry.
that just brought me like shooting back to that outtake from
That wasn't an outtake. That
From
was
Parks
an
and
actual
Rec.
penis in her mouth.
no,
Oh,
from
yeah.
Parks and Rec
Yeah.
with
Come back,
it's like we're talking about making a comeback, and then what's this?
Andy.
And
Chris
is
Pratt.
that
Chris
yeah,
Pratt.
yeah, I couldn't think of Chris Pratt
Chris
for whatever.
Pratt
He was
as
like,
Andy
Dwyer.
Wire. Yeah.
you got that's a great outtake. Anyways, what are we talking about? We need to talk. Are we gonna any other shows? Any other anything else you want to get off your chest
Oh.
before we delve
Still
deep,
watching
deep?
Legends of Tomorrow.
I haven't watched.
I heard that's
anymore.
bad.
It's
Has not found its footing
it has
yet.
its hook. It has its hiccups, but they've already dealt with one of their problems.
They killed someone.
I shouldn't say, but
Is the Martian dude in it?
no, Martian Manhunter. That would be
Oh,
fucking
that would be
sick,
right?
bro. Oh my god.
I don't think they would do Martian
that,
Manhunter.
oh, and they're not.
Who's to
putting
say
him
they
in
won't?
Any,
Because
they're
they-
not putting him in any of the movies.
Yeah,
like
that's
he
what I'm
would
saying.
be prime like TV material.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
I mean,
Martian
he was
Manhunter.
in Smallville.
cool.
Really?
Yeah, for like
Really?
a lot.
As the Martian Man, it was just a guy named John Jones.
Just some random Asian kid.
I mean,
They
Asian.
called him Marty.
Sean
Isn't that how Smallville is?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have any actual superpowers.
Yeah.
no,
He
he
wasn't
did.
even a
He
detective,
definitely had
like-
superpowers.
I'm Marty, and I really like Mars.
Yeah.
The thing is, I can't tell you because I don't know much about Martian Manhunter outside of what.
Did-
That's the only
Did
interpretation.
he have a disdain for fire in the show?
What about his Oreo cookies?
They didn't do that either. I'm sorry. I would.
Oh man. Well, I guess they're not really Oreos in the comics. But
Yeah, they
same
weren't.
difference.
Hold on. Any
Speaking
other?
of Mars,
Shut the fuck up. I'm trying. I don't think I really have seen anything big since the last show. I plan on it this coming weekend, though.
Are you talking about Deadpool?
Yeah.
Deadpool!
Yeah.
I'm excited to see
Fucking
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that I'm going to be seeing it in 2 days and like 3 hours.
What if
Yeah.
what if they pull like what if the marketing of this movie has been absolutely insane. What if we see that movie and like he doesn't break the fourth wall once? Like what if none of that shit we see in the trailers and the marketing is in the movie and it's just like a sequel to like the Wolverine version?
I
of Deadpool?
highly doubt that's the case,
well, of
especially
course
since they
not.
did all those secret screenings, or they did the surprise screenings, and everyone who saw it was raving
I'm just
about
saying
it.
that'd be like a giant fuck you.
It would.
I guess they haven't really shown any of that in any of the trailers.
and that's
right?
that's the thing is they've barely shown anything in the trailer. They just keep showing the same scenes
scene.
over and over, which I like.
They're pretty
Because
proud
why,
of those
why
scenes.
waste all
Your
no, but
face
why
looks
waste all
like
your
an
fucking
avocado.
material?
You know what's kind of funny? I after those secret screenings, I saw a lot of people tweeting about like, oh, the movie's great, but it's like super violent and gross and disgusting, and like, do not take children to see this. And this one film critic I followed was like, he's like, the humor is incredibly like sophomoric, as you might expect, but like there's actually like a slight miracle in that in the entire runtime of Deadpool there isn't like a single gay joke or anything.
Really?
Yeah, it's like
impressive.
as like sophomoric and like bro humor as the movie is, they never like go to that well.
They never.
I was
Oh,
like, really interesting.
Chai Tai really wants to hear my impressions of Furious 7, which I
Hold on.
I
On
watched.
Deadpool, on the topic of Deadpool, the guy who's like, "Oh, your head looks like an avocado," like that. They keep showing that.
T.J.
scene.
Miller?
That the dude from Silicon.
Yeah,
Valley.
Silicon Valley, yeah.
That is
Like,
his
who
name.
does this guy think he is? He's like this wannabe, like this generation's Jason Lee or something.
He's
I
actually
can't.
he's actually doing quite well for himself. And
Yeah,
he's a really
he's
funny guy.
been in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
He's
pretty good.
Not
Movies?
just, yeah, he's
Yeah.
been in
Oh,
movies.
I've seen Silicon
Valley, yeah.
Yeah.
He was
But
in
he's been in a
that,
lot of
what was that one movie with Jay, what's his face? And the girl from
Jay and the girl.
Shut the fuck
he was
up,
in
Nick.
Big Hero 6.
He was in Big Hero 6.
Yeah.
He was like the
yeah.
stoner dude or whatever.
Yeah, the
Okay.
rich kid
Yeah.
with the monster
What
costume.
what is the girl from Star Trek 2?
Why are you looking at me?
Because you like her butt.
Oh, the girl who played...
I don't. Oh, like the J.J.
actress.
Abrams Star Trek.
Yes.
The chick from Avatar.
No.
I like her butt.
That's
That's
Zoe.
a-
That describes
I
a
like
lot
her
of.
butt.
Zoe Saldana. Is that
Zoe
her name?
Saldana?
No, I'm talking about the Alice or something in the
Yeah,
movie.
she
Or
played
she's a
Dr.
blonde.
Alice.
Oh, you mean that really gratuitous scene where she's like, taking,
Yes.
Yeah, when she's
oh,
in
I
her-
don't know
That
her name.
actress.
I like how you described. She's the one whose butt you like, and I'm
Because
just like,
that's
that,
true. I remember watching
could
that
be
movie
anyone.
with you, and you were like,
All I'm saying
He got
is
all hot and
not only
bothered.
is his voice similar to Jason Lee, but his comical styling of delivery
Yes.
sounds a lot like Jason
Alice-
Lee. as
Alice
well.
Eve, yes, that is the actress. I'm trying to think of the fucking movie she was in.
Is
with,
this like 6
with-
degrees of
Shut the
Seven
fuck up.
Kevin
With
Bacon?
Jay, he's an actor. He's really skinny. Jay something.
Jay Burchell.
Is that his name?
Yeah, the dude.
Oh, the
he's like
Canadian
Seth Green's
comedian.
friend.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
him.
Seth Green. Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen.
He was in a movie.
With
with-
Kevin Bacon.
No, Kevin
Yeah, the
Bacon
kid-
wasn't in it.
The kid from Undeclared.
Yes, from Undeclared.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is about him, like it's a rom com almost about him courting that girl Alice Eve, and T.J. Miller is like one of his best friends or some shit in the
You know,
movie.
people in chat,
don't know if
one
I
thing
saw
you need to
that.
understand is in order for us to be sidetracked, we have to have been on track in the first place,
Yeah,
which we have
true.
not. But before we get back on
Thank you.
track,
She's
Jay
out of your
Burchell
league. Is that what it
was in
is?
This is the
Are
end.
you sure she's out of your
with
league? Is that a different
Hermione
movie?
from Harry Potter.
Hermione? Did you say
Hermione?
Hermione?
Hermione.
Who was in the third Harry Potter movie with Gary Oldman, who was in The Professional with Natalie Portman, who was in something with Kevin Bacon. I don't know. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, well, it was called She's Out of Your League.
I want everybody to know.
XCOM.
I want everybody to know. I had a few beers on Saturday, and I decided, or was it Saturday? I don't remember. I had a few beers over the weekend and decided
You have
to
a few
watch.
beers tonight?
I decided to watch Furious 7.
Wow.
I haven't even seen that.
I've had people telling me that like this movie is.
Have you seen the other ones?
I caught the tail end of 6, and before that I haven't seen one since
5?
Tokyo Drift.
Oh, well, five is
Tokyo
good. You
Drift.
should go back and watch 5.
I heard 5. So
Little Bow Wow.
was Little Bow Wow in that? Mm-hmm. That okay.
He drove a car that was supposed to be like the Hulk. It was like a big green thing, like a fist on the hood or whatever.
Okay, hold on. Just before we talk about Furious, on the topic of Hermione versus Hermione, like, don't give me shit like Hermione is a normal fucking name or something.
It's not that it's
Sorry,
a
I'm not
normal
some-
name. It's
It's
the
an
fact that it's an
iconic name.
iconic book series that went on for like 7 years. And
It's
there were 7
iconic for
movies.
people who actually give a shit about Harry Potter.
I'm sorry you were in college when Harry Potter first showed up.
But I'm
and it
saying
wasn't.
Oh,
Sephiroth is iconic,
elementary
but I'm not
school.
going to expect
He's old.
people who don't care about Final Fantasy VII to know how to pronounce Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Correct.
But
You know
you've
what I
seen all of the movies, have you not?
No, I mean, I haven't seen all of them.
But you've seen some.
Some, yeah, sure.
She's not a mime.
I'm just saying, it's a weird name to begin
Can I
with.
talk
When I-
about Furious 7
when I
for a
was-
Her
second?
name was Sarah, and I called her Elizabeth.
When
That
I-
might be a little weird.
When I was reading the books, I used to pronounce it Hermione. or
No, a lot of people
Hermione or
did. A lot
something.
of people did.
Anyway,
Now that's dumb.
Furious 7. real
I
quick.
did take my girlfriend to Harry Potter. It's actually not called Harry Potter World. That would be dumb.
I think he was
It's
talking
called
to
the Wizarding
Brad,
World
but
of Harry
yes.
Potter,
Oh, that's
and
completely
it's
different.
amazing.
Yeah.
Furious 7,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like
I
the
don't-
Avengers. It's
dude, that
But like of cars.
dude,
Yeah.
go watch the first Fast and the Furious movie, which
Done that.
regardless of how you feel about the series, like
You remember what they were stealing in the first Fast and
Wasn't
Furious
it-
movies?
wasn't
Like
it VHS
TVs?
players?
It was like VHSs and like CRT TVs.
Yeah.
that's
Dude,
what they
like,
were stealing in the first.
go
Fast
back and
the
watch
Furious.
that movie. That movie was pretty good, I'd say, for its content.
Sure.
And then go watch Furious 7. Like if you could somehow do that without seeing anything in between, holy shit, what is happening? Like that movie is so dumb.
Yeah.
Like it's fun. I especially while drinking some beer while watching it. It was a fun movie. But good God, they don't even care anymore. Like it is just like they're being chased through the streets by like a remote controlled drone that's firing like chain guns at
What
them.
the fuck?
Yeah. Of course. While someone's in the backseat of the car trying to hack the drone on
my
a
God.
laptop. Yeah, dude.
It's
oh my
a
God,
superhero movie.
dude. No,
Wait, how are they
there is
hacking
a
the
scene.
drone?
There
Like-
is a scene where Vin Diesel and who's
The
the bad guy?
Rock.
No, the bad guy in this one who's played by
Jason Statham?
Jason Statham are literally they're sitting in a tunnel facing each other, and they go to play like a game of chicken, right?
Yeah.
They both floor it, and they fucking run head first into each other like 80 miles an hour or higher, and immediately just get out of the car.
That scene didn't make a lot of sense.
Oh, they didn't fly through the hoods and punch each other in midair.
That is the kind of shit that happens in these movies, though.
It has gotten to like every single movie has gotten progressively more.
The scene with the skyscraper in the car, was that this one?
God,
I
yes,
saw that in the
yes!
trailer where he drives through one into another.
And then into another.
Yeah.
What
Oh,
the
into a third one?
Yeah, into a third.
What?
I didn't know that.
He can't slow down enough, so he has to go to the third skyscraper.
But you know what? You know what? Fuck it. It's entertaining as shit. But like,
Jesus
what the
Christ.
hell? Oh my god! And like, I will say this: like,
Did they still do the announcement or like the little placard before the movie that's like, "Do not attempt anything you see in this movie"?
no, I don't even think that bothered.
They used to do that.
Oh,
But there's a Ronda
there is a
Rousey
Ronda
fight?
Rousey fight, and it's pretty hot.
We're not allowed to like her anymore, though, right?
Wait, why not? What happened?
Because she lost and she's
lost.
like racist
Oh,
or something?
whatever.
Oh, she's racist.
Something like that.
What?
She
Calm
gets in
down.
a fight with Michelle Rodriguez, and it's pretty. No.
I got two comments before games.
Okay.
First one.
almost there.
Yeah, first one. I can't drink alcohol.
No.
Well, shucks, we shouldn't have brought all this alcohol to the podcast.
No,
Okay.
for like a month.
I've got straight vodka.
No, like my
What are you gonna do during Deadpool, man?
not drink alcohol. I had a blood test, and he was like, your liver function's elevated. Do you drink a lot of alcohol and take Tylenol? And I was like, in fact, I barely do either of those. And he was like, well, don't do either for a month. And I was like, all right.
Are you gonna be
So-
mad if I'm drinking, sitting over there, just throwing back
I'll
beers?
be completely fine. Nick, how often do I fucking drink?
Well,
DD.
That's I mean,
shit.
I can name you the last like 10 times I drank because I had.
I trust
hold
you.
on,
You don't
at
need to.
PAX.
No,
At
you don't
PAX,
need to.
Yeah.
The last time before that was his birthday. Yes. The time before that,
I got drunk both. Those
oh
nights.
no, the time before that was when we went out to Abel's.
7 more, Nolan, and we're not continuing
Okay.
this podcast until we call all of them.
So anyway,
God damn it,
the other thing I wanted to talk about was something I kind of found out the other day, and because I was talking about like someone brought up playing cards, and so like you have like a deck, 52 cards.
Yes.
Shuffle
Plus
that deck.
Jokers.
Well, let's exclude the jokers for this scenario.
52 cards.
So you shuffle that deck.
Okay.
Would you be surprised if I told you that the organization those cards were in has never been done before?
Wait, what? Explain that.
Shuffle the cards. They're in a certain order. Ace of hearts, 3 of spades, whatever. What would you be surprised to know that
Oh, there's so many different permutations into the order of those 52 cards that if you shuffle a deck, that's never
probably the
ever been
first time it's
achieved
ever been
before?
like that? Is
Really? That's crazy.
So
what do you mean?
So hold on. So think about. Do you know what a factorial is, Brad? I know you.
The exclamation point.
Exactly. So do you know?
I took some differential
yeah,
equations.
Diffie Q. Do you know what 3 factorial is? It's pretty simple.
I mean, I don't remember.
Okay, so a factorial is essentially a way.
It's I kind of remember.
Well, hold on. So we'll take us as an example, the 4 of us.
Sure.
How many different ways are there to arrange us in the
arrange
seating order? It can't be like Krispy. It can't be. There's only one of him.
Not yet.
Yeah. So it would be 4 factorial. So there's 4 options for this seat: Krispy, me, Brad, or Nick. Now there's only 3 for this seat because one's. So that makes sense. Nick, do you get that?
Yes.
Okay. So hold on, I'm getting to the point, Nick.
Okay,
Calm your shit. So it'd be 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which would be 4, 12, 24. 24 options for how to arrange us in these chairs.
Okay.
Okay.
At least it's not football.
Do you know what 52 factorial is?
No.
Well, it'd be
It's probably like
Is it in the
52
trillions?
times
Infinity.
51 times 50 times.
Quintillions?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
It is 8.065 times 10 to the 73?
Wait, is that significant figures?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Is that insignificant figures?
So anyway, the way I was reading this thing about how you can because that's a number we can't physically comprehend. Like you can't comprehend that number.
Sure.
Can my phone though?
No, it can't. And so the way
wait.
it was talking about how to kind of try and put that in perspective would be to go to the equator on the Earth. Just go to the equator and start walking around the Earth in a circumference.
Sure.
Take one step and then wait 1 billion years. And then take a second step.
I only made it to
And do that
46
all the way
before it
around
started
the world.
abbreviating.
And do it all the way around the world. And once you get all the way around the world, take a drop of water out of the Pacific Ocean and put it in a bucket. And then do it again. One step every billion years. And then keep taking a drop out every time you do one loop around the world.
And
One drop of water
fill
out
up the whole
and as
bucket?
soon as the Pacific Ocean is empty, put a piece of paper on the floor. And then fill the ocean back up. And do it again. And once you keep doing that over and over, every time you empty the ocean, put a piece of paper on the floor. And once that stack of paper reaches from the ground to the sun, how much time do you think is left on the clock? In seconds.
You have to put,
It was 8.065 times 10 to the something.
you said like 40 seconds.
Yeah, something like that. Seconds.
like
How much
seconds?
Yeah, that's just say that's seconds. How much do you think is left?
This had better be a
32.
ingenious-
10,000.
8.063 times 10 to the 47.
Fucking God.
If you do that 1,000 more times, you're about 1/3 of the way through the clock.
Wonderful.
And that's
I bet
Wait,
like
this is
I bet
assuming-
you have something
No,
off there. But
I'm sorry,
no, I
to
mean I believe
clarify.
it's a lot.
Stop. To clarify, this is assuming that every second is one of those permutations of the 52 card deck.
correct.
Wow.
Correct.
So-
Another way to comprehend it would be to take a deck of cards, shuffle it, and just lay out 5 cards like you're laying out a like a poker hand. And keep doing that until you one hand every billion years until you get a straight flush. Do you know what a straight flush is? It's all the same suit, just 4, 5, 6, whatever. If you get a straight flush, buy a lottery ticket. If that lottery ticket is a winner, and only if, put 1 grain of sand into the Grand
Shut
Canyon.
up! You're just making shit up now.
I swear to fucking God, put 1 grain of sand into the
Wait,
Grand Canyon.
okay.
Hold on.
Is this?
Hold on. I'm just so
math
you can understand.
We gotta talk about video games.
We will,
at some
and then do it again. So keep putting out these straight flushes once every billion years, and then once the Grand Canyon is filled, it's leveled. Take an ounce of rock off of Mount Everest.
He's making shit up. This is just like
And then
this is
stack
probably
the ounces of
No,
rock,
and just
or-
put them off
This
the
had
side.
better be some convoluted segue
In
into
the
talking about the
fucking
witness.
meme. They come
Empty-
up with like the most,
Empty the Grand Canyon and start again. And once Mount Everest is leveled, you are 1/256th of the way through the clock.
One. Oh my God.
So to put also
I don't believe-
more perspective, our universe in its whole is 4 times 10 to the 17th seconds old.
Which
And the
is
permutations of
this is
fraction.
like that shit in fucking Inception where they go down to the planet, but like up in the spaceship,
That's
the dude,
Interstellar.
whatever, the dude's like already old, and they were only down there for like 10 minutes. Like,
Dude, I'm into it. Thank you for sharing the one.
You're welcome.
That was
So
very
every time you shuffle a deck of cards.
So are you telling me after all that was not meant to be a segue into talking about XCOM or The Witness?
No, it was the witness. Because your mind is blown every time you try and solve a fucking puzzle.
that's why. That's why I could get one of those line puzzles, and I'm like, there can only be so many combinations, but I'm doing it for like half an hour.
Yeah.
No, seriously. So okay. So we're talking about The Witness now. We talked about this last week. We've all played a significant portion of it at this point. I am really, really, really loving this game. There is one puzzle though, and I think it's in like the bamboo forest, right? It's a very simple
Yep.
puzzle. In fact, it's only 2 rectangles stacked next to each other, right?
Okay.
And you just have to draw a line.
That's
through
what
it,
I was
right?
telling you about the other day.
Yeah. So did that, solved it, went to the next one. You're supposed to use what you learned on the first one to solve the second one. Can't figure it out. And it's only like one more like it's,
you know what you're supposed to be doing to solve that, right?
no. We're not going to talk about
I'm not going to
specifics.
say. I'm just asking if you know.
Well, clearly not. That's why I'm bringing it up. I've done 200 puzzles in this game. That one I haven't solved yet. The point is, like, this game is just a never-ending. Like, I could do so many puzzles and just be totally high on the feeling of success in this game, and then get to a point where I find a puzzle that looks so simple compared to like the 20 or 30 I did right before it.
Yeah.
And I can't figure it out. And that's a really unique feeling, I think.
I think the way these puzzles are laid out on this island is not as like airtight perfect as I originally thought it was.
In what
How
regard?
so?
In terms of like the logic behind
Well,
it.
first of all, nothing is airtight perfect.
Well, I mean,
But
I feel like in a game from Jonathan Blow that is much like this game, I mean, I feel like it. Okay, let me give you an example. This area I'm in, the quarry. To get into the quarry, you have to open 2 doors, and there's a different type of puzzle on each door.
Yep.
Of like they test your rules, the knowledge of like the color separation, the knowledge of like the Tetris blocks. And you're like, okay, well, I at the very least need to know this stuff before I can complete this area on top of whatever rules this area is going to teach me.
Correct.
But to get that laser, you totally need to know other rules from areas you have not been to yet.
Yes.
And I just wish that like if he's really going to do shit like that, then don't put these test doors for me to get into this area. Like that's the only shit I need to know before going into this area, because it's just not the truth. And I feel like, I mean, it's frustrating when you're just staring at something thinking that you should have the knowledge of figuring it out, when in reality you just haven't learned that yet, even though the game is leading you to believe that you should be able to figure out that puzzle.
And that's something I brought up
with the test
when we
doors.
talked about it last week. And yeah, it's frustrating because you're always in a situation where you're like, should I know how to do this?
Yes.
And I came up with the 99% of the time in this game, when you see a new piece, the puzzle you should be learning that on is goddamn simple. Like they are usually like in this quarry, when it teaches you that new piece, that puzzle's really simple.
Yeah.
So if you see a new piece in a complex puzzle, that's probably not the one you've. And hold on, in the treetop area, I got stuck on this one puzzle for a really long time, even though I got really far into that area. And I was like, you know what? I don't think I've learned how to do this. I went somewhere else, found the area where I was supposed to learn how to do it. So yeah, so I agree with what you're saying, Brad. But to an extent, I also understand why he doesn't want, because you don't want everything. That would almost be like everything in just one little niche area. Like this is the area of the Tetris puzzles, and this is the area. You know what I'm saying, of this. And so it wants you to kind of explore the world.
No, I know. And he can blend it, but I'm saying there was 2 test doors before I can get into this area.
You know
like
what?
he tested my knowledge with 2 different puzzle types before he even let
That
me
aren't related
in.
at all to what's inside.
No, they are.
Yeah.
But there's also another type that he doesn't test in that area that you have
Correct.
to know to get the laser for that area.
And most areas have that kind of element to them.
Which is just,
You know what it kind of
seems
reminds?
sloppy.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? As someone who's currently in school taking a lot of science courses, it kind of reminds me of going into an exam or like going into a test, and like your professor has said, okay, this is the chapter we're studying, these are the concepts, here you go, and then like halfway through the test they throw in a problem, like a convoluted like word problem that requires some skills from like the last chapter.
Yeah.
That you didn't know you were gonna need to be like boning up on. It's like, okay, well, take these new concepts and then apply a dash of this other stuff that we already taught you that you should be familiar with, just to like kind of test you and trip you up.
Yeah.
And it like, it's fucking frustrating.
It's
You know what I mean?
frustrating, but like, when you really stop to think about it, if you weren't in a situation where you were being tested, what better way is there to learn something
It's just,
than to layer
to an
it
extent,
on top of
it's
other
throwing you off
concepts?
the deep end sometimes when, once again, the fucking the life preservers are somewhere else that maybe you didn't see first.
Yeah.
And yeah, I understand what you're saying, Brad, in the terms of that it's sloppy, but I think it's just he doesn't want you to go through an area and then never go back there. You know what I'm saying? Because of that, you have to end up going to an area maybe. And that's what I kind of tried to teach myself was, if I can't solve a puzzle within 20 minutes, I leave, because I'm like, you know what? I probably shouldn't even be trying to do this one now.
Yeah.
You're right, and that like an argument could be made for sloppiness, but at the same time, so much of this game is so meticulously designed that I can't help but feel like everything was put there.
Well, see, that's what
Very
I was
intense.
thinking.
I
but
don't
then I
think-
feel like
I don't think it's sloppy. I think it is. I think it is like almost this. I don't want to say like antagonistic, but like he really wants to test you. Like he wants to make it very possible for you to fail and not be able to complete this.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
to that extent, there is a definitive path, you could say, of you do this puzzle, A37, you do puzzle A37, and then once you do that, you're supposed to go over here to do this one. There is, you just don't know what that path is.
And there's far too many of them to ever even really know what that would be.
I know.
And not that you would
I
want
also
to.
feel like the
That
nature
would
of the
kill the
game
experience.
is like you really paying attention, really understand what you're doing here. No, like really pay attention, really understand. Otherwise, you haven't figured this out. They're like proofs or some shit. So any time that there's like
Hate proofs.
anytime that there is a curveball, it is an assumption that it is on purpose. But I'm saying like when there's even a little hint that maybe that purpose is just like not,
Yeah.
you know, it's like it's breaking my fucking brain, like in not a good way. It's like it may like this game is making me think logically.
And
And
you don't.
meticulously, so like it sucks that I feel I've come across something that I feel like is not
isn't
logical.
logical,
Now, I mean, we can assume that you know
see,
Jonathan
that's the
Blow is just
feeling
a
right
fucking
there.
god, but I know he probably maybe shouldn't have done this.
But that's the feeling right there. When you the moment you have that thought that this doesn't seem logical, that right there should be the first clue that you should probably go somewhere else.
Yeah, that.
I mean, can I describe to you what it was? I'm not going to give you a puzzle solution.
Sure.
But in the quarry, to get the laser, there's like two lasers that go. I mean, two cables that go up
Yeah.
to activate it, and one of them trails off to where like the little boat dock is, or
Yeah.
whatever, right? And there's puzzles in there that are from like almost every single area. You know, and like you like in the one specifically I remembered it was a color division puzzle, except they were also like the little suns, the ones you do in the
Sunburst ones.
Yeah.
the sunburst
Yeah.
ones, and it's like you didn't test my knowledge on the sunburst to get into this area, but and that'd be fine if you didn't specifically test my knowledge on these other puzzles that I did use in that area.
So for each area, Brad, do you just want a big placard in front that says all the shapes you need to know how to
Well,
use
I mean,
in
a
that
lot of
area?
puzzle
I mean,
games
that's-
do that, and I think that's fine.
I mean, that's kind of what that's
what
Talos
Talos
does.
Talos
And
does
Portal.
that to an
Portal
extent.
does,
yeah.
too. You get those
Yeah,
placards.
exactly,
It's like
yeah.
this puzzle will have these elements.
And honestly, I think that's an element that kind of ends up making The Witness feel very distinct from those other games. Because otherwise, I feel like this would almost have too much in common
to
with
that
those
extent,
games.
Brad, I don't understand why that's an issue.
well, so he shouldn't have put
because-
those gates there in the first place. That
But
test
they're
the one
not
knowledge.
gates as to you need to know how to do this before you get into this area, because can't you just come down from like the fucking desert? Didn't you just walk from the desert to the...
Maybe, but I can never figure out how to get down. Or no, because the elevator's not activated.
There's two ways to get to the quarry.
Not being able to jump off of shit in this game
I
really
understand.
bothers me.
But to that extent, Brad, what I'm saying, just because it doesn't have a fucking placard out front telling you what you need to know once you get in there, if you encounter that in that area, you're like, oh, well, I haven't done this yet. I'm going to go somewhere else.
This guy's saying I should have took the boat to get into the quarry. You
You
specifically
can't.
can't.
You can't.
But there may have been another way.
No,
but
to,
the point is,
to let him know, when you take the boat to the quarry before you've come in through the front door, the bridge isn't lowered. You can't get off the boat. You can
come
stop
you
there.
can come in through the forest, though. Anyways,
That door is also blocked off until you come in. There's like a thing. Yeah. Anyway.
anyways, what I want to like what
How many lasers does everyone have?
Dude, I'm still at
4,
two.
I think.
I'm at 2, and one of them isn't even pointing up to the mountain. It's just like shooting off into the distance.
Yeah, that'll happen.
I have no idea.
I know which one you're talking about. So I have
It's on one
I have
laser.
either 6 or 7. I'm fucked. I can't figure out these puzzles, and I think next time I cast, I think I'm gonna have to cast the Witness because I need help. I don't want answers, but I need help with these
And
puzzles
honestly,
that
I've
I'm
had,
on
a,
because
I've had
I
a very
am fucking
positive.
stuck.
I've had very positive experiences broadcasting this game, which
Well,
is very
same here.
which is very unexpected.
me as well.
Well, it's not like someone can shout out the answer to you.
No, but
Well, they could say, "I see it."
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, they say that plenty. The funny thing
fuckers.
is I bet 90% of the time they're wrong.
Yeah, no, I bet they are wrong too, because the people who've played the game probably know not to say that, and it's only the people who haven't played the game who probably don't actually understand all the rules, so they're seeing something in their mind that they think is right.
Yeah,
It's
no,
just-
totally. Have y'all
Except
seen
when
any
you get it and
puzzles?
they're like, yeah.
So have you seen any puzzles that use like shadows?
yes,
No.
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 Okay. So I found one puzzle that kind of does that, but the problem is it's one of those puzzles where you have to solve it multiple times. Like there's wires coming out of it.
Yeah.
And you have to solve one, and that wire will light up, and then you have to solve 2 more. That first one I got was fucking easy. The other 2, it makes no fucking sense.
okay. On a more general level,
Yeah.
what I'm really, really loving about this game, and what I like, I'm loving this game in a way that I didn't even feel I loved like the Talos Principle, which up until this point, Talos Principle is still like probably my favorite puzzle game I've ever played. But like what I love about this game so much is the sense of exploration and like discovery in this game.
Dude, you're always finding shit.
It's unparalleled, man. As far as like, there are so many just like solving a puzzle and opening a door to like a hidden compartment, which then unlocks another puzzle that you can use to access another area that you don't even know where you're going to use it, and then you go discover that later and like, oh shit, that's what that was for. And then you run back and get it.
It's also not even that to that extent. It's also a fucking like there's a crack in a wall hidden behind a tree branch with puzzles in it, and you can there's one thing I walked past like 40 times in this game, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait, I've never been in here before. Yeah. And it's just like it's like, oh my, like there's so much in this game.
Now, one thing I am a little concerned about, and depending on how far you plan to take the game, because you can finish the game. You don't have to complete all the puzzles.
Correct.
To finish the game. But like if you have decided to yourself that yes, I'm going to do that, like you're eventually going to get to a point where you're going to have, because this game literally has no UI.
Yeah.
It has no menu. The only thing that you can really use is you can go to the load game screen to see how many puzzles you've solved.
Yeah.
You are eventually going to hit a point where you have very few puzzles left, and you're going to have no fucking clue where they are.
Crackdown agility orb problem.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, but this world is so massive and so intricate and so
it's a lot bigger
layered
than people thought and probably even know right now.
Yeah.
Unless you've beaten it. Yeah, there's lots of like underground stuff and like there's a lot to this game.
I think you should probably just not try to solve all the puzzles.
I'm not planning on it, but like there are a lot of people out there who are going to decide they're going to want to do that, and for those people, that's I think gonna become a very big problem.
I think they're probably just gonna Google it.
Those are just the weird.
Because what's going to happen
though?
when you have one puzzle left?
Oh yeah.
And you have no fucking clue where it is.
What if it's
how do you even start to look for it? How do you even look it up on the internet to find out which one you're
puzzle
missing?
am I missing?
Like the agility.
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no way. And
I guarantee you, like 95, 96% of the people who play this game aren't going to 100% it.
Sure. And maybe you don't have to.
Probably a larger percentage than that.
There's just, but beyond that problem, which I think is only going to be a problem for a very small portion of people. Like I said, I have not experienced a puzzle game like this that has made me want to explore an environment as much as this has. Like even when I run it, like I've run into a puzzle where I get stuck, and in any other game I would be frustrated because I would feel like I had to solve this or I'm just fucked. Because you can literally stop a puzzle at any time with the push of a button and walk somewhere else and find any number of other puzzles. Like,
oh my God.
My frustration level in this game has been super low.
Like looking at this puzzle.
I remember that I've had this exact puzzle, but with a Jeffrey. And I fucking hated that puzzle.
So I did. So if anyone followed me on Twitter, or I talked to Nolan about it the other day. Like I discovered Jeffrey yesterday, which is the name that Brad had dubbed a certain piece or a symbol.
I call it a tri-burst.
Yeah, tri-burst or whatever. I'm gonna go with Jeffrey because it's funny.
He loves pie.
He loves pie.
Square pies.
Fuck those things, because it literally took two people trying to explain it to me, and I eventually just had to have someone Brad blatantly tell me what the fuck it means, because it is by far the most abstract
fun
concept.
To be stuck in this game.
It can be frustrating at times. It can be frustrating when it's not bad when you get stuck on something because you go do something else. But when you go do something else and then you get stuck there, and then you go somewhere else and you get stuck there, and you go somewhere, that's when it gets frustrating. And when you don't, because that's where I'm at right now. I have nowhere left to go. I don't have another area I can go to solve puzzles. I don't have that. To progress in this game, I have to solve one of the 4 puzzles that I'm currently stuck on, and I can't.
Are they just like the biggest puzzles?
Many of them are big.
Because that's gross.
Many of them are big, like the one you were like that size, and they're the ones that don't tell you what's wrong when you don't complete it. So I don't know what I'm not doing.
See, that's the problem I'm having in the bamboo forest. It doesn't tell me what the fuck's wrong.
Yeah, I know that's Nick, that section. I'm like 2 puzzles ahead of you on it, and there's a lot more in that section.
It still is really cool to hear other people talk about the game. I was listening to the Bombcast, I think this last Bombcast, and they were talking about it, and I remember they had mentioned the greenhouse with the elevator.
Yep.
and someone was like, "That's super
that.
late game," and I was like, "What? Like
It's
I
not
did
super
that.
late
I
game.
haven't
No,
done it.
it's not. But like because of the way, because you can potentially play this game in any
Yep.
order you really want
To an extent, yeah.
to an
you can.
extent. Like everyone's experience has the potential to be dramatically different, and
I want
that's
difficulty
super
tiers.
cool.
I want someone to rank the difficulties of the areas and chart out probably the most easygoing
I would be-
path through the witness.
I would be interested to see what that is, but I would never want them to tell me that while I'm playing it.
well,
Yeah.
sure, I guess.
Because I literally I love how little information they
I've been
give
in
you,
the
and
bamboo forest once, and like early on, I have no idea.
You know what's
The thing
terrible?
is,
I have no other
honestly,
hours.
that bamboo forest, you can solve that before you solve any other area.
I know it's just something simple, and once it clicks, I'll be like, holy shit! It just hasn't clicked for me yet. I'll tell you this: the first puzzle that I solved that you go to solve in the bamboo forest, if you're stuck on that, it sucks because they have these little speakers playing
Yeah.
little bird sounds, and if I was wearing headphones, you're standing next to it while trying to solve the
And just
puzzle,
keep
and when
doing
that
it?
bird chirps, it kills my ears. It's painful. So like, because I'm using like Turtle Beach headphones.
Yeah.
And it's just like fucking. It's like a bird sitting right in my ear, just squawking really loud.
Bamboo
Yeah.
forest is about sound.
That is true.
Thanks, Brad.
Figured it out. I'm a puzzle master.
Brad is a puzzle master.
You know, Talos Principle. That's a really great game. It was on sale the other day. I highly recommend
much?
people. Like $10.
$10.
Yeah,
So good.
It's a
That
good
is a
game.
damn good game.
damn good.
I've bought that game twice. It's damn good.
Damn cold.
Damn good. All right, we can move on from The Witness if you want. We'll
Yeah, why
we'll
not?
keep talking about it at some point. Maybe we'll do a spoiler
I
cast.
really, I
on it.
really want people to get as far as they think they're gonna get.
Yeah. I am,
so we can do a spoiler.
I am
cast.
moving through it at a brisk pace. I have solved about 200 puzzles, I think, and which is, it's funny because when I first started the game, I within 10 minutes I was like, this game's gonna give me problems because I ran into a puzzle and I was like, what the fuck? This is only gonna get thousands time worse than what it's at now.
Yeah.
And I've made it to 200 and I'm like, I'm going. I just got to keep pushing. But I know I'm eventually going to hit a wall. And that's going to suck. But it's still fucking cool.
You know what's not cool?
Walls and hiding behind them.
XCOM 2. I fucking hate XCOM 2.
What?
I fucking hate XCOM. I hate.
This is a twist.
You actually hate it, or are you just frustrated?
I've played enough of it because I can't do anything in this game because there's too many things to click, and I'm scared. I thought you would think going into XCOM 2, having played a bunch of Enemy Unknown and a bunch of
be
Enemy
prepared,
Within,
right?
that it would give you some confidence and you know what? I'm confident, but I feel like that's only made me more scared.
Yep.
To make a bad decision
Because you know that the decisions you make can fuck you over down the line. Yeah.
Just like Satellites. I played 10 hours of Enemy Unknown, and I realized, I screwed up. And, it was game over,
Yeah.
I had a wipe, I had another wipe, and satellite coverage was fucked. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to restart this game. And the next time I did, kicked its ass. But I had to have 10 hours of knowledge to be able to do that. And I don't want that experience again. I want to get it right my first fucking time. So I'm sitting there on my world map with decision paralysis because I don't know what anything does. And I know the idea behind the game is you're not supposed to know what anything does. I guess you're supposed to kind of figure it out, at least with alien types and events and stuff. But I know that one bad mission or doing something out of order or I back clicked and now that thing is just gone. I can't do that event period or something, it's I'm scared. I'm scared to click anything.
So if you watched the first time I was streaming this, I was very scared. I was like, can I back out of this? If I back out, is it gonna fucking?
I hate not knowing.
That won't happen.
Someone told me yesterday that it can't happen on the thing that I was on.
To ease your suffering, if you press ignore or something, don't press ignore. Just press escape. Pressing
Okay,
escape
just
will
right
pull you back out. It'll still let you do that event.
But see, what the fuck is that?
I agree. It's dumb. I don't like that.
Why can't it just ignore temporarily?
Some of my
do
biggest
this now or it goes away forever.
Some of my biggest problems with this game are the user interface. it has some fucking
I fucking
issues.
hate the way this game controls. I want to be able to use a controller and don't. Before you're like, oh, what a fucking console nerd. Listen, motherfuckers. I played the PC version of this before. I liked it on a controller. It was actually designed fairly well with the controller. The way you can, kind of cycle through your characters with the bumpers. You could just tap Y to go into Overwatch.
Dude, honestly,
you could play it faster with a controller.
I think
what
a
liked
controller
about it.
is a better choice of interface for this game.
There's some choices they made to the mouse controls and the interface that is very like controller in design. Like, for example, you right click and it like backs you out, it cancels you out, moves you out, depending on what screen you're on or what you're doing. It could do a different thing. So the fact that it cancels you out of stuff, like when you're in combat,
it cancels you out of taking an action.
but at the same time, if you're hovering over a spot and you hit that same button that cancels you out of something, you've just moved a unit there.
Yeah.
And thank God you're not playing Iron Man, because you could have just ruined your entire playthrough. Because
What does left clicking do, Brad, when you're in that move your character thing?
Doesn't do anything.
It doesn't fucking do anything. How does that not make sense? I want to click my character to go here. This is the button you use for accept. This is the button you use for enter for everything, and the button you use for everything to escape everything are fucking flipped when it comes to moving characters, and that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. I mean, it's because PC games.
It doesn't make as much
did
sense
that.
in comparison to the rest of the control scheme. But I think the idea is that they put the auto move command on right trigger because you're less likely to click that thing.
So you know what a lot of games, strategy games, do, especially Japanese ones like strategy RPGs and stuff. They'll have like a confirm.
Yeah.
Like, are you sure? Which, I know some people are like, oh, it slows it down. I don't have to do that every time. So put it in the menu, like as an option. Do you want to confirm a lot of games do that as well, where you could turn that kind of stuff off. Do you want to confirm your move? Check that out off the options if you want that or don't want it. This game needs it, especially because I want to be playing like a game like this in Iron Man, but I refuse when misclicking could mean instant death, permanent death for a character, and maybe even much worse.
Yeah, I agree.
For an entire playthrough, potentially.
So my biggest problem with this game, besides the user interface, is it tells you fucking nothing. I don't know what anything does. I don't understand how systems work. I don't know what this means. I don't know what that means. Like, there's a thing you get later on. You get an item that you have to use on an enemy, and you use it and it progresses the story. And then I kept bringing that item because that item let me get some like intel from that enemy. And so I kept bringing that item into battle so I could keep using it. It would never work. It never worked. And so I finally ended up Googling it. I'm like, why the fuck? And they're like, oh, once you use that item, you have to research a different item and use that from now on. That first item's useless.
It's like a
Why the
prototype.
fuck did they even let me keep using it then? If you can't ever use it again, what is the fucking point? Like, they should literally remove it from the game, or then not even have. I don't. It doesn't make sense.
Like, just do the very courteous thing that a lot of games do. Just say, you're not going to need this anymore.
Yes.
I know there's no reason for you to think that, but we're just being courteous. We're telling you, get rid of this key, Resident Evil man.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Guys, I have a very simple. I have not played this yet.
Okay.
I have a generalized question about XCOM 2.
Yep.
Is XCOM 2 a step backwards?
No.
No. Dude,
no.
this XCOM 2 is
everyone
great.
I've
I'm having like.
So hold on, Nick.
Everyone
this-
I've ever heard
this-
talking about this game is
This is
nothing
the
but
problem,
bitch
Nick,
about
and
it.
this is the problem.
Because
Hold
the
on.
game is so like fucking punishing.
Yeah.
This is the
that,
problem.
you know what the big problem right now is I feel like there's a lot of frustration coming here. You know what? I'm playing on rookie. I'm having the time of my fucking life.
Oh,
It is still really challenging and really punishing, but like I'm not getting just like fuck it. I don't have any of that shit where it's like, oh, if I accidentally right click, which I've done before, if I accidentally right click instead of left click, I just killed a unit, possibly destroyed my game, like completely unrecoverable. You kind of remove that pressure, the game becomes a lot
I think all the three of us. I know we really liked XCOM Enemy Unknown.
It was in my
and
top
Within.
10 the year it came
I
out.
realize. I've played a lot of it. Coming into this game, I think this game makes a shit ton of improvements.
Yeah.
But I think they made some other changes that I don't like, and that's the frustrating thing, Nick. It's not that I don't like this game, because I do like this game. I wish I was home playing it right fucking now. But the problem is there's all these, like I said, it's a simple thing of they don't give you information, and I don't understand why they don't. I don't
think it's part
understand
of
why.
the theme of the game.
And I guess to an extent it is, but I would really like, kind of like what you were talking about, Brad. You get to this thing later on, this kind of game mechanic that is not explained like at all. And if it is explained, it's explained in like there's like a pop-up window sometimes with like an explanation here, but there's also some text here, and I don't know, should I be reading everything? Like it's not very this UI isn't very good, and sometimes I just don't understand exactly what's going on. And I've had Vunic say to me, "Oh, I fucked up my game because I didn't do this, but I'm not going to tell you what it is." Oh, okay, I'll be on the lookout for that then.
Yeah.
I'll be on the lookout so I don't ruin my game.
You want to know what the real world would be like if you were the commander of a force trying to save the fucking planet? There'd be a lot of debriefings and like meetings explaining shit to you, not just like as it comes up. Oh, by the way, that thing that's happening right now is a dark event. I'll tell you more later. You know, it's like that wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
You're the commander.
There are some nice.
Lay it all
quality-
out. Let me read a fucking thick ass packet of information.
There are nice quality of life improvements, though.
Yeah.
Seisan brings up a good point that now, instead of like build individual weapons and individual armor suits, like if you just research and build that one project, any unit that
everybody
uses
gets
that
it,
type of
yeah.
weapon gets the upgrade.
Yeah.
Like shit like that was a huge resource sink for me in the first games, and resources are already so tight.
Being able to-
that alone is enough.
Being
to
able to
fuck you.
train rookies to be a specific class.
Yeah, send them.
That's
Yeah,
really
you can
nice.
send them. You can send
The
you can
Guerrilla
build an
Tactics
academy.
School.
Yeah, you
They
can
made a
train them.
lot of improvements with the meta game, the strategy game. But the thing is, they've added so much to it that,
added a lot.
my reaction is not that it's bad. It's just that like
It's overwhelming.
I'm overwhelmed.
It's really different because it's putting you in a lower position of power, basically. You know, in the first game, you were the global response team to this alien invasion. Now you're the resistance.
Yeah, resistance,
You didn't have to plan for the aliens' movements as much in the first game as you do this one, because now you've got those dark events to worry about. You've got like I don't know if this changes later on or if this is the whole game, but like right now there's like this one big alien project that they're like building up to in my game, and everything I'm doing, every mission I'm taking, is all about disrupting their progress on that project. And if I'm not doing something that's directly disrupting that, it's a trade-off. It's like, do I want to waste, 3 days to try to find supplies, or do I want to waste 4 days to hire another engineer when I'm not actively disrupting the aliens' like plan?
It's me and Brad talked about this before the show. It's this cost benefit analysis of should I be doing this or doing this, but you don't know what the downside of not
You don't know
completing
how
something.
bad
Yeah,
it is.
if I don't complete this, will I lose a bunch of money or will it be a game over? It's kind of this thing where you don't necessarily know, so you don't know. Oh, should I?
But you really don't want it to happen.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. So I have a bunch of story objectives. Should I be completing those right now? Is there a time limit on it? If I don't
Yeah.
complete this, will the game end, or
Yeah.
can I kind of like buy some time and kind of make some money and do some more things over here while that just kind of chills out for a little bit?
big one.
They make you feel like you need to be ready for this mission. So like you might want to run a few missions before that. You might want to research some new projects, give yourself some time. But then you're right. Like I spent like 3 weeks gearing up for one mission, and I was like, how long can I let this sit?
It's
am I
frustrating.
ready or am I not ready? Like I really just need to do it.
like the main progress, like the main fail state of the game. You understand that like an XCOM Enemy Unknown, if too many countries pulled out, you've lost the game and you
Yes.
gotta start it all over.
Which happened to me 3 times.
Well, in this game, there's like a meter which I haven't even got to yet, so I don't know if I should be dreading it or not because it hasn't shown up yet. But like, there's a thing called the Avatar Project, and the
Oh,
meter
that's
and
what
the
I was talking
meter
about.
Yeah.
the meter fills up. But like, the game doesn't tell you that you don't have a game over just because the meter's full. Which I heard somewhere.
Is that true?
That's true.
Because I don't know. I'm like messing with
It's like kind of like something
You still have like a chance
Yeah.
I'm running
to do
against
something.
that meter. And I'm at the point now too where it's like the next place I have to go to directly affect that event is in a region I haven't unlocked yet that isn't even next to a region that I have unlocked. So that means I have to fly to a region, spend 3 or 4 days searching for the local resistance cell.
Do you have the contacts available to do that?
If I have the contacts available to do it, search for the local resistance cell, set up there, and then from there launch into like whatever part of the world this mission takes place in and search for the local resistance cell there. So you have to plan, like, it's going to take me at least 8 days to find this place. I don't know what kind of progress they're making other than, like, this vague meter. You know, they could jump up to...
And all of these things we're saying, the thing is, it's fucking XCOM. I mean, that's how the game goes. It's a combination of not knowing, being overwhelmed. Do I spend my money on buying new guns, or should I spend my money recruiting some soldiers, or building a new facility so then I could then learn to research something?
Yeah.
And then you have a bunch of research projects, and you're like, oh my god, what the fuck do I
You know what'd be
research?
nice? Some fucking like tech trees or like skill trees or stuff. You know, like I like in a game, like in Final Fantasy Tactics, my favorite game of all time, when I unlock a new class, I can see everything I could potentially get. That would be nice. Like, I think they're talking about it in chat right now, but it's very frustrating not being able to see every skill that I could potentially get for a certain class. Because if I knew that, then all of a sudden I can start charting out the type of character I want to make. But because you can't see that stuff, you can make certain decisions not really knowing, like Nolan told me, well, actually, this skill's not that bad because later on, this class can get this one skill that it synergizes really well with. But because I didn't know that, I thought maybe by itself that skill isn't very good. If I had been able to see that whole skill tree, like, they would have been more satisfying.
So Chris Davis brings up that there's an enhancement room on your Avenger that allows you to reclass a soldier.
I know, but everything's cost
I didn't
time
know that.
and money.
I didn't know that existed.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, there's a lot of stuff in this game
Band-Aid.
that you don't know it's there, and it's like you're saying, the classes in this game, how they work are very different from XCOM Enemy Unknown, and so you still have a run and gun type thing, and so you still have some of that, but other than that, like, the skill trees are quite different, and not knowing what's down the line can be kind of daunting because you don't know. It's very difficult when you promote a soldier to decide, what do I want to give them? Because I don't think I've seen a single skill that is bad. It's never like, I would never use that.
If he didn't tell me that a ranger couldn't, like, recloak, or, you know, that he could eventually get run and gun, like, I might not have made the decisions.
By the way, I fucking love the Rangers.
The Rangers are
are
great,
like my workhorse.
Every class is good, right?
I have Joseph as a ranger. He's like my top ranger. I swear to God, like, he never fails. He never fails. Even like bad shots, like, somehow I can always rely on Joseph to pull it out in the clutch.
I miss an 85 and then a 75, like, right here.
I will say, like, my workhorses are my snipers. Toast and Gamerbeck. It pains me to say it, but Gamerbeck never misses a shot.
So, just for people who are listening
Toast,
at home,
though, he's a pile of garbage.
I assume y'all are naming all of your soldiers after
Well, Chai
community
Tai
members.
made that
and
whole
stuff.
pack
Chai Tai
of
made
4-player
us.
characters, so I just downloaded that. I tweaked them a little bit.
Here's my world. My world is one person, one man. It's Vunik. He gifted me this game. It was very nice. Where he had an extra code. Now, everybody else in the world, all my other soldiers are women. And there's even a mod that you can make it install so, like, everything you get is already a woman, even like your engineers and your scientists and stuff. So I'm gonna install that mod. So basically, the whole world,
Vunik's Angels.
the whole world is a woman except Vunik, who happens to be gay. But he finds love in the arms of another male snake man, which I have not met yet, but they'll meet someday.
Snake.
Wait, Vunik's a snake man?
No, he's not a snake man.
Oh, you said
said
another
snake
male snake
man.
man.
Well,
A
of
male
a
snake.
male
Okay.
snake man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Or maybe Vunik is secretly
Have
a
I
snake.
died in
I don't
anyone's
know.
game yet?
You're not in my game yet. The thing is,
Fuck you guys.
Well, no,
you'll be a
it's character
scientist
pool.
or
it's a
something.
pool of characters.
You load, like, characters and it'll say, like, this character will randomly appear. So I've only gotten like 3 or 4 of the 4-player.
Yeah. Fuck you guys.
So the thing.
No, you're one of my snipers and you do okay, but, like, you've gotten seriously fucked up on some missions, and, like, they have the whole
PTSD.
thing now. Yeah, they have the whole thing now where, like, a soldier can get shaken if they get hurt too bad on a mission, and you have to take them on another mission and not let them take any damage and, like, succeed the mission.
They also have
And
to
then
kill
they'll be-
someone.
Oh, they have to kill someone too?
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, okay, but, like...
No, they're more than okay. They're better than they were before.
Oh, they come back
Their
better.
will goes even higher.
Yeah. So, like, I took you on a couple missions and you got fucked up, so I had to bench you for a little
Hey,
bit.
I don't remember who it was last time, but I was someone was playing and I was in the game and I literally didn't even make it off the dropship in the first mission. I got like
that might have been mine. I think I might have had
like the back door opened to let the soldiers off, and I was running off and I just got capped as I was walking off.
In my game I had already got a bunch of soldiers before Chai Tai made his all of us. So currently in my game I have Brad, George, and Jeff.
Got George.
The only 4-player guys.
No, dude,
I had George too, and I just wanted to mention to Chai Tai that like, you didn't give him a UK accent. Like,
What the fuck,
You
Chai
gave
Tai?
him US English 6, I think. What were you thinking?
Come on, Chai
But
Tai.
This game is still like super addicting, like the first.
Oh my
one.
God.
Well, if
Dude,
I play it, I'll be playing it on
The
Rookie.
thing
Single
is,
mission.
like the way I play the game, it takes me like 40 minutes to do any single mission.
Oh my God.
And so I spend like 45 minutes to an hour on a mission, and then I go back and I'm on like the fucking overworld for like 10 minutes, and then I'm back into a mission. And it's just like, it's unfortunately, you can just drop in and drop out, because I mean you can save the game whenever, since I'm not on Iron Man. But it's just like, oh my God, it feels like I'll sit down and play the game, and I do like 2 missions.
Okay, there's one thing I got to bring up before we move on from XCOM. I want to know, because it's a
I'm not done talking
huge,
about XCOM.
oh, it's a huge point of contention for a lot of people. There's a lot of controversy surrounding it. Some people are kind of talking about how it's like the end of the world, and the Steam user reviews for this game are actually pretty poor. Not just because it runs like shit, which we don't have to talk about.
It definitely has some issues.
Poor optimization.
on the Avenger especially.
But it's that a very large portion of the missions, I heard upwards of like 80%, is in some form a timed mission where you have to hurry.
I really thought that was going to be a bigger problem than it's ended up being, because a lot of times that timer is like for the first objective of the mission. It's like, get to this point within 8 turns, and then once you do that, the rest of the mission is just at your own pace.
Well, the problem with that is sometimes when you're rushing to get to that point, you alert a bunch of enemies and send deal with enemies and move and also stay in cover. Right. And so like, I understand where Brad's coming from, and I'll say that I've never failed a timed mission yet. But it can be frustrating because, like you have that time limit. And it sucks sometimes because a feeling
They force you to play a certain way, and
I
that
feel
sucks.
like people maybe got like 1 or 2 bad rolls on like a timed mission, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had a problem with it, and maybe it's because I usually take like 2 Rangers with me, and they are not only great at like covering a lot of ground quickly and like pushing up your force, but I've also got the skill on them where like if the team is spotted, they will stay.
Yeah, they stay in, yeah.
So that
Provided
that is
they
a
aren't
huge-
spotted.
Right.
Yeah.
Provided
Sure,
it's not them
but-
that trip.
But
like
they
I don't know.
force your
Those
so-
Steam reviews make it sound like it is game breaking. And
Enemy
it really
Within-
is not.
The thing is, Enemy Within had something. So one of the things that Firaxis, what the fuck? One of the things that Firaxis has wanted to kind of get away from is people kind of Overwatch crawling, like inching forward, Overwatch, which
Right.
Fine. But they introduced something in Enemy Within that kind of gave you pause, like, nah, maybe I do need to rush a little bit here, and that was like I forget what the resources was called, but it was the resource you needed.
The one
meld.
that disappeared.
It was
Meld.
the meld that would disappear after so many turns, and it was sort of like a trade off of like I can rush
it
here
totally
to
was.
kind of get these other things, but I don't have to. It kind of gives me the option of playing risky sometimes when maybe I really need that.
It's a
resource.
cost benefit analysis because
Yeah.
meld was very important for doing the psionics and for doing the mechs
Mech
and stuff. So it was a very fucking powerful resource that oftentimes, I really wanted to rush to get to it, but you know what? If I wasn't able to, sucks, I missed out on some meld, but I didn't fail the mission.
I felt that was a better. Like that, I felt like that was the better way to handle it, and they still introduced timed missions.
Yeah.
But they weren't like every fucking mission.
Yeah.
So like I felt Enemy Within had a ton of variety without kind of forcing me to play kind of sloppy, a way that I'm not okay with.
I do feel like
again,
they've
you're
given you a good set of tools to deal with that, though. I mean, obviously, you don't have ideal conditions when you're launching these missions, but they've given you enough tools that you can kind of make something of it.
Well,
I mean,
again,
sure,
imagine you're playing an Iron Man, though.
everyone would love to have all the time in the world to set up like 4 snipers with squad sight, send in a fucking like scout to find people, and then just have the snipers take them all out. Everyone would fucking love that. That'd be great. But that would also be, again, kind of like in the same way, it would be kind of repetitive.
All I'm saying is I played that first game in the expansion on Iron Man, and I can't do that here. Because I can't play.
Like
you can't
I said,
play
yeah.
safe.
Yeah.
You know, like in any
I'm
game,
not playing
any
Hardcore,
game in the
fuck that.
world that has like a hardcore mode, like a Diablo or something, you know, which has a hardcore mode, you don't just play it like you normally would. You play it, you create a build that's designed to be like very survivable. You're specifically very cautious. You know, if shit goes bad, you fucking turn off the goddamn game in like Diablo hardcore because you can't chance it, and they force you to chance it in these new mission types, which is such a large majority of them. I just wish it,
so, you know, that aside, you know, mission failures suck, but it's one of those things where it's not in game. It's not like it ruins your run.
that's true.
It sucks.
It's better about that than the first game too.
Yes.
Dude, the few times that I actually played a campaign of the original XCOM Enemy Unknown, like, I felt like my fucking game was ending so fast. I could not figure out what. I mean, maybe it's just a byproduct
So
of me not playing
I
the
don't
style
think
of game
it's
very
that
much.
bad in this game. I don't think you can so quickly lose.
My fear of playing this game, like my hesitation in playing this game, is that like as much as I loved the gameplay of Enemy Unknown, like I would play for like 2 hours before my game. I would make a decision, and in my game, like I would just lose.
Yeah.
No,
That's
not gonna happen to you here.
Yeah, it won't.
I'm gonna hold you to that, Crispy.
It won't.
No.
hours?
In fact,
Yeah.
what I'm hearing about XCOM 2, and they're talking about that in chat, is this game. It's actually they give you a more room to make mistakes.
Yeah, they do.
like failing a mission, especially
they-
2 in Enemy Unknown, usually was like a complete
Everyone
wipe.
died.
Usually was like okay, this run is on life support now.
Dude, I mean, the
you know,
whole
but in this
metagame-
game, it's not like that. From
The
what I
whole
understand.
metagame is built around the idea that you got the short end of the stick.
And it's also the
Like,
fact that
good.
they
I mean,
give you the ability to set up an evac. You can throw down a fucking flare and someone can, if you're fucked.
You can just, I gotta get out of
Exactly.
here. Get my people out of here.
And so there have definitely been good moments for me in this game. So like there was a really frustrating moment, and chat knows it was one of my second or third minutes. Like this game does not start you out like Enemy Unknown. Like the first couple of missions are really hard, and I don't know if they do that on purpose just so you can
To make you feel overwhelmed, it's supposed to build that tension of
maybe
like,
yeah.
like maybe
So-
it's their attempt at like
effective.
creating atmosphere of like the world is being attacked and you're trying to they want you to feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, and so I was really frustrated, and so I was like, you know what? Like, cause like I had an objective, and so I'm like, I'm gonna take all my guys, and they're gonna go to the right, and we're gonna flank around the side, and 2 enemy patrols started walking that way, and then my run turned to shit, and I was like, you know, I'm just gonna actually reload this fucking level because fuck it, and I reload it and have everyone go to the left, the soldiers start going left. Like, what the fuck? They were going the other way last time, and that was just kind of frustrating me. And there's this whole kind of, I don't know if it was, it was frustrating to me because I don't know if it was random or if they just walked towards my troops. I don't know, but that kind of irked me a little bit. But that being said, like I've been playing this game for close to 20 hours now, and I fucking love it.
Someone
I
told
love
me
it.
there's actually a story in this game. Like,
There's more in the way of like
yeah,
cutscenes and stuff.
There's definitely more story than there was in
That's
XCOM.
because there's
better.
more
Enemy
of a,
Unknown.
there's more of like a fictional world for them to build up for you.
yeah,
You know, and the characters like your like engineer and your scientist, like they all have a bit more depth to them, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, like they have a bit more in the way of backstory going on.
But when I was playing last night, I just had this one fucking mission. It was I had to blow up something with some X4. And I got there and I was doing it, and I got to the last enemy. And on my turn, they called in reinforcements. And I'm like, fuck. But then I was like, wait a second, they dropped the reinforcements like right by me. And so I killed that enemy, and then everyone else go Overwatch. And the reinforcements land and get off the ship,
Yeah.
and they just get
That's
fucking
the best.
destroyed.
That's
Because
the
all of
best.
my guys were fucking waiting for them.
When you've got like a fucking kill box around
Yes.
around their like reinforcement zone,
Yes.
and they get like as soon as they jump out of the ship and start running, your guys are just like, like I fucking love
the
that.
thing is, I freaked out because it was 2 of like the mech enemies that are
Yeah.
in this game, and then an elite, like one of the advent like commanders.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 high level people. I took out 2 of them, and one of them had like barely any health left.
2
after.
metapods.
Metapod? Is that what they're called?
That's like the big ass
From
Metal
Pokemon?
Gear or what
yeah,
looking
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, and because all of my, I had 5 guys in Overwatch, a sniper. 2 of my rangers were right next to the drop zone, and I just fucking destroyed them. And then I had my last one, my specialist. I had him hack the Metapod thing, and
Metapod,
whatever they're called.
So hacking, I have not done much of that. That's pretty cool.
It's confusing.
Makes
I
cool sounds.
I don't understand
All
what's
it
going
is-
on sometimes.
Oh yeah, I mean, all I've noticed is it's just pick a reward, and then there's like a random.
There's like a difficulty. Yeah. So
yeah, there's like a random, like it fills up a meter, and it's a random fill, like how far it'll go, and whichever reward you pick, you have to get higher on the meter. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
but so your specialist also has like a tech ability. So you can, there's more than just hacking like robots and stuff, and there's more,
Yeah.
and other people can hack certain events, like certain objects. But the thing is, their tech skills are very low, and so you definitely want your specialist to be the one doing all the hacking, because then they get a better chance of succeeding.
Sure.
But
We
yeah.
have been talking about XCOM for more than 25 minutes
it's
now.
really good.
Dude, I fucking love it.
Considering
It's
this footage.
frustrating, and it's handing me my ass half the time.
Like-
but when missions
yeah.
go well, and oh my god, like some of the fucking abilities in this game are so goddamn good. Like one of my snipers has like a lightning reflex, which it's like a 3-turn cooldown, but it allows me to just take a free pistol shot, just free. And the other one I have is I think it's called like dead eye or dead shot or something. And if my sniper kills someone from an elevation higher than them, they get to take a second shot, which is super fucking nice. Because snipers, like,
But I bet the alternative in that slot is really good too, right?
it is. That's the
man.
problem. And so that's the thing.
And
Like
there's
I said, I've never leveled, like, gotten someone promoted and had an easy time choosing what skill I want to give. Because both skills, I'm like, I want both. But you can't have, but you gotta choose. And it is tough.
There's also that weapon mod you can attach to guns that, like, there's a 5% chance or something like that if you fire, it won't take their attack action for the turn.
Yeah.
Dude, if you stack that on top of it,
There's mods for your weapons. You can increase the aim. You can increase the clip count. So my snipers, instead of having 4 bullets, now they have like 6. Super fucking nice. There's an ability. There's a modification I got for my ranger. If my ranger misses a shot, automatically does 2 damage to the enemy.
How does that look, by the way?
How's it look?
What is the ability doing?
It's just because it's the animation of the bullet
just-
going past them, and so like I guess some of them hit, kind of like thing. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't think it
'cause it's a
actually
shotgun.
changes. It's just
Yeah.
That'd be cool if it was like an explosive round or
No,
something.
no. Yeah, so it's just if I fucking miss a shot, I at least do something. And it's I'm really enjoying the game. Like I said, I want to be at home playing it right now.
We'll talk more about it.
Oh, totally.
Let me be clear here, Nick. At the beginning of this is just played like a couple hours of this game. It's just sort of early game like nervousness.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
for me.
Well, that early game nervousness for me is translated to downright hesitation to even play it.
Oh, dude, you should.
Oh,
I'm also first. Is there any chance the game's gonna come to console? Because I really,
I think so.
I mean, as of right now, there's no sign, but
The
doesn't mean
first
it's
game
not
came
going
to
to.
everything.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you can play it on a tablet.
yeah. So I might just hold.
The thing
out
is, Nick,
and
the
see.
reason
might
I
be
don't
waiting
think
for a
the reason
while.
I don't think they've announced it is just because this game has a little ways to go still.
Yeah.
Like this game still has issues that I'm sure
I'm
they're
waiting
going to
on some
patch.
patches.
Like, I would
some
rather
NVIDIA
wait until they've
drivers.
ironed out those issues before I dive into it personally. And I mean, it's not like
That's
I have
fine.
any shortage of other games I can be playing.
That's true.
Which we'll talk about as well when we come back, because I know Krispy has been. Krispy got some time today with Firewatch, which
guys wanna
I'll be
talk
playing
about
on Friday
Firewatch?
on the feed, but
Yeah.
we'll get some early impressions of the game from Krispy when we come back. In the meantime, though, we're gonna take a break.
Before the break, can I just ask you real quick?
Yeah.
You enjoyed finishing up The Witcher?
I did. I finished The Witcher.
Nice.
I finished the fuck out of The Witcher.
meet Siri? That was a great scene, right?
You're supposed to meet Siri?
That was a
Yeah,
great scene.
that was a
right?
great scene.
The Kaer
do you wanna-
Morhen battle?
Yeah, it's good. Do you want to hear? I have a. Well, I don't know if I want to go into. I was more or less very upset with part of my story and how it ended.
Oh, I already know what you're talking about.
But
So you get
well, no. Here's the problem, and this is I talked about this a little bit on the dinner time. I am a man whore, but I don't. Not intentionally, because Brad, you went into this having the background knowledge of. You read the books. You're familiar with the characters. You knew about Yennefer. You knew what kind of person she was. I had no. The only character I've had any exposure to, like, romantically in the series, has been Triss.
Yeah.
So going into this game, I was already
you
predisposed
should
to
have
choosing
stayed
Triss.
faithful to Triss.
I should have. I should have.
Just because some
but the
other great
problem is-
girl exists doesn't mean
No,
you
but the problem is, like,
fuck her.
in the game, they introduce you to Yennefer very early on, and then she leaves. You don't even really get a sense for, much about her, right?
Yeah.
And then they reintroduce Triss, and you have to make a decision right then and there, romantically. Like, if you are going to...
It's very hard for people not to kiss Triss.
It is very hard not to kiss Triss.
It's also very hard to say
But
kiss Triss.
if I had known more about the character of Yennefer, if I had even an hour more time to spend
you knew
with
how
Yennefer,
good that sweet
I would have
sorceress
maybe
ass
been able to
was.
make a more informed decision, because I made...
Love doesn't work that way now.
I know it doesn't work that way, but it can in a video game, okay? God damn it. I know that's not how it works in real life, but you know what? This isn't real life, and I would have liked to have had more information. It's
Well, I mean, the funny thing is, in the books, Geralt fucks Triss and Yennefer, and they both know that. And
I brought this up with Nick. Yeah.
oh, okay.
We talked
yeah,
about it on the dinner time.
and that's part of why I made this decision, and I didn't think too much of it, because I feel like the whole part of the love triangle has been, they're both aware of each other, and they're both aware of the relationship with Geralt, and that's kind of, they're somehow they're still kind of friends, but there's that tension. They're kind of like...
The only one we're
"Grr."
kind of hush-hush about is Fringilla Vigo. Don't say anything to Yennefer about her.
Well, I didn't. But my point is, like, I made a decision. I would have made a different decision had I had more information or more predisposition to the other character, right? But I had to make a game-changing, like, story-affecting decision before even the halfway point of that game. And I was, at that point, it was too late. I had to either stick with it or I had to take the bad
At the very
ending.
least, isn't it kind of interesting?
It is interesting.
That a character's relationship can be complex enough to where it's not like Mass Effect, where you're like, I'm going to bang her! And then, from all your decisions from the beginning to the end of the game lead towards banging her, and it's never like, oh, well, I want to bang. No, I like
tough,
it this
yeah.
way.
No, trust me. I think the love triangle, like the romance options in The Witcher, are probably the best I've played in a game. I love that dynamic between those three
They're
characters.
like grown-ups.
Yes, they're adults.
That lends itself
And
to
like
the
an
fact that-
adult, I made a terrible decision, and I had to suffer the consequences.
And that, like I said, that lends itself to the fact that The Witcher has fucking amazing writing and an amazing story.
does.
You know what? Hearts of Stone is just as good.
It does. And I very much look forward to playing Hearts of Stone. It just sucks because, like, I finished the game, I got my ending, and I thought it was great. I'm happy with the way my story played out, with the exception of how my romantic situation ended. But then I looked it up just because I was curious, what did I really miss out on?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, they basically give you, they show you what happened to Geralt after your thing, and it tells you, you could have lived happily ever after with Yennefer. I was like, or Triss, if I had just remained faithful. It kind of sucks, because I'm not going to go back and replay the entire game just so I could change that one course and get an ending that I'm more satisfied with. So essentially, I'm a little upset that I spent 70 to 80 hours with The Witcher and ended up with a ending that was definitely would not have been my choice at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's disappointing, but I still loved it. It was awesome. That game gets fucking crazy at the end.
Yeah.
In a good way. Anyways, we're going to take a break. Right? Anything else?
Yeah.
And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about Firewatch. We'll do the news.
You want to talk about Oxenfree at all?
I'd like to hear your thoughts on Oxenfree.
I played some of that too. So.
Oh, cool. We'll talk a little Oxenfree too.
Okay.
So if you're watching us live on 4pp.tv, don't go anywhere. We'll be back. And we'll see you on the other side. All right, hey everybody, welcome back. We're joined this segment by Hyde, who's sitting here on the couch with Brad.
Yeah, he's a nice dog.
He's chilling, hanging out,
You should have named Malia should have named Manti Go Seek.
What?
Hide and go seek.
Oh, or Jekyll, because he's actually a nice dog. While
Well, he would have to be
monster.
Mr. Hyde then.
Well, I call him Mr. Hyde sometimes.
Hyde's a monster.
But he's castrated.
Hyde's a monster.
He looks so lovable and
Yeah, but he's a jerk. He's fucking.
You grouchy old man, Hyde.
He got. I've been sick. I've been sick, and he.
This is the neediest dog
he
I've
eats
ever
clothes. Like I've been sick, and I had like tissues all over the place, and like I put them in a little trash can by my desk, and I saw him. I was about to leave for work. I saw him. He was eyeballing me like, "Oh, what you doing with those, huh? You sure those go there?" And then I come home, and Leah's like, "What you blew the trash can? Hyde ate all the tissues out of it." I'm like, that's not my problem. That's his problem. Who eats tissues?
Not to mention used tissues.
Yeah, right? He's a monster. He doesn't care. He has like pica.
He's just differently abled.
He should be on that show.
He's having trouble getting traction on this couch.
I
He
know, I
keeps
know.
sliding.
I watched True Life. Like I told you about the strange addictions where they eat fucked up stuff. They had a True Life as well where this girl eats soap.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. I've seen that.
I just love when the way they did, like, it's not like like she cooks with it. Whatever. We can't talk about this.
Gross.
Hyde already wants to leave.
Just let him do a thing. He'll be fine. Firewatch.
Firewatch.
Can you?
Are y'all sure you don't want to talk about
You guys
math
wanna-
some more?
So,
Sure, so we can
No!
talk.
I'm
so,
just kidding.
so,
Campos. Wait, what's the name of the studio?
Campo
Santo.
Santo.
Campo Santo.
do you guys recall when there was that news article that was talking about Pixar?
Mm-hmm.
And they got a chance to play Firewatch, and they were just like singing its praises.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
amazing. I kind of understand a little more why, and it's a lot to do with the beginning, which
Which we're not going to spoil here.
we're not going to
Where
spoil.
they're talking toys.
We're not going to spoil, but let me put it to you this way: I was recording the beginning of the game, and I decided not to upload it because it is super spoiler. But at about the 14-minute mark, I was crying.
What?
I was crying. Like it's
Really?
sad, and not like in an up or like in the blind force way. It's sad in a in a that dragon cancer kind of way.
What?
It's a really fucked up. thing.
Which sucks because
Like-
I now
It
like
adds this,
I've
it adds
seen
this
day
huge,
2.
It adds this huge emotional weight onto Henry, who's the main character, and what he's saying and like what he's doing there, and it works because by the time you actually get into the game and you're like doing stuff, all of this is still like sitting in the back of your head, and it makes Henry seem like a much more human character in the fact that like
Even though he's just arms and legs.
in the fact he's just arms and legs. Oh no, I'm sorry, I will also warn you, you can see his penis in the beginning of the game too.
Woo!
You see like a drawing of him that's like fully nude.
What
like,
the
with
fuck?
his dick, and he's kind of chubby. and,
Like paint me like one of
You know,
your.
yes, that is exactly what it is.
He's the actor
fuck?
from Mad Men.
Yes, he.
Oh shit! Yeah, I know who that is then.
Henry
Oh my god! I
Crane.
looked up
Henry
his name.
Crane.
He plays Harry Crane on Mad Men.
So you
which,
wanna know-
By the way, Mad Men's one of my favorite shows, and like his quality of acting in this game is kind of on par with that.
Do you want to hear a fun little factoid?
What's that?
So I listen to the Idle Thumbs podcast. I mean, I have for years. I listen to every episode. So the people at Campo Santo like made up of people who put on that podcast.
Oh yeah.
And Henry Crane, or the actor, was a listener. Harry Crane was a listener of the podcast, and they saw his email like on their like Patreon list or something. I don't know what it was. They saw his email. They cold called him,
Oh yeah.
and they're like, "Hey, so we're doing this
Dude,
game. Would you like to
he's-
do a voice in it?" And he said yes.
He's so good. Like he's so good, and I don't know who plays Delilah, but that's the voice on the radio.
Yeah, she's good too.
She's amazing. Their back and forth is just like it's so good.
Their radio call banter.
Yeah. Their radio call banter is really really good, and it kind of makes you. The game is super super atmospheric to the point where there really isn't a soundtrack to the game, but when music is kind of cued dramatically by like certain discoveries and certain things you find, and when music does like come in, it feels weighty and impactful, and this game is really just kind of all about like playing with your emotions, it feels like.
There is an element of mystery.
There is. There is. There are weird things happening, and there's people there. You're not the only one out in the woods. Like, there are just like campers and like other people that you kind of like cross paths with. But you never see anybody. You never actually like see a person. Like, you might see a figure like way off in the distance and like might even like kind of interact with them a little bit, but like you're never looking another person in the face. You never see somebody else's features. And Delilah's tower is like always kind of like in the background. You can always see it there, and you can see like at night it has lights on and things like that.
You can't go to it,
but
though.
you never see her. And in fact, like day 3, I think there's a really cool moment where there's a really cool moment where you're talking to each other about what you look like. And you can decide what you tell her or what you don't tell her, that kind of thing.
Do you tell her about your penis?
No.
I have a picture of it.
Do you tell her that you have fucking Shrek hands? Listen, I'm a big dude, but my hands don't look like that.
He does have like kind of Pixar.
He looks like what's his face? Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, he has some Pixar like kind of proportions to him. But he's like middle aged. He's like in his 40s. He's a heavier guy, but he's not like a fucking.
I mean, he is a wildlife.
He's
kinda,
a big, he's like an outdoorsman kind of guy. He's really stocky and kind of chubby and has a big beard.
Can't wait to see a Pixar cock.
It is. No, it's not. You don't see like a modeled rendering of it. You see literally like a sketch of it
in Pixar stylings.
Kind of, yeah.
Shaft and balls.
You can and the beginning of that game that I was talking about. There's a lot of choices that you make. Mm-hmm. So basically,
does that determine how big his penis is in the picture?
The basic structure of the beginning is it's snippets of you going on your 2-day hike to get out to the watchtower, and in between that are screens of dialogue that basically explain your backstory, and it talks a lot about your wife and like how you guys met. And then it'll have like a bunch of text, and at the bottom of it, it'll have 2 choices. So like one's like, you 2 decide to buy a dog, and you go to the pet store, and your wife sees a beagle that she really falls in love with, and you can either decide buy the beagle and name it Bucket, or buy this German Shepherd and name it something because you know that she'll be safe when she goes taking it on walks alone. And you have to make all these decisions, and as you go on, like it gets fucked up. I mean, it is like it is.
You see 2 kids at the playground. Which one do you murder?
Firewatch is like. I mean,
he said it gets fucked up.
I mean, play the fucking game. You'll see what I'm talking about. It is sad. Like it kind of
just. It's on to do.
It kind of just fucking corded me out emotionally.
I'm very excited to play.
I kind of want to know nothing about it.
I agree.
I plan on playing it on Friday.
The worst part about it too is not just that it's like a sad beginning. It's not one of those games where it's like, oh, here's a sad opening. It's that. You have to deal with that. You have to make choices. And those choices affect things in the game. Those choices affect your backstory. In fact, that thing I was talking about, the picture where you see him naked, one of them is like, Julia's drawing you. What do? Do you pose like He-Man, or do you do like a sexy like lingerie model pose? And I pick lingerie model pose. So like later in the game, I'm looking in a journal and I see that picture, and it's like him like this, and you see his fucking noodle hanging out.
His noodle?
Yeah.
I mean, is it girthy? I mean, the rest of him is girthy.
It's pretty girthy.
Is it like a Pringles can,
it's
or is
proportional? It's proportional to the rest of his body.
Like a can of corn?
We're talking a Pringles can or a Twizzler
you know what?
here?
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not really ready to joke around about this game.
Is it a Pringles can or
I don't
a can
want to
of
talk
tuna
about
fish?
this anymore. I want you guys to just go play it.
Okay.
Like,
This game is $20 for Outdoors Gone Home. I don't know.
If you buy it on Steam, it's $17.99. And it is a little more than Gone Home, because the forest area that you're in is your entire sector that you are in charge of watching, and it's open world. Like you can move around and explore it at your leisure, kind of. And they give you the ability later on. You find like a disposable camera, and they give you 18 frames with it throughout the whole game. So you have 18 pictures that you can take. And in fact, apparently, the pictures that you take in your game, you can pay to have the developer develop and mail to you.
Yeah, that is crazy.
The artist for this game is Ollie Moss, who does a lot of
and it's so
really cool.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like Witness is beautiful in a kind of similar way, but like so far taken together, like the lighting alone, this game is fucking gorgeous.
They went camping with the artist, and with the artist Ollie Watts, who does a lot of like covers for like, you know, like movie posters and DVD covers and stuff like that.
He even does metal band covers, or
He does a lot of really cool stuff. I recommend checking out the site because it's like, man,
he has some
I want
pretty
all that
awesome,
stuff.
pretty awesome shit.
But like they were talking about it on the podcast of like how they went camping into the woods just for like inspiration, and he totally had that cliche moment of like, I get it, man.
Yeah.
And then he was able to like, you know, start doing art for the game or some shit like that.
I mean, it's so good. Like as much as I was really into XCOM and like Witness right now, I just have to like finish this game. And I don't really know how much of it is left. I played about 2 hours. I'm hearing reports anywhere between 3 and 20. Most of them seem to settle around 6.
Well, I could
but like
see
I
how
said,
you can
it is kind of open world. There's a lot of like exploring that you can do on your own. In fact, there's a part like day 3 or 4 where it's that whole day is just explore if you want, and then when you're ready, you call Julia, and it ends the day.
I read a review and someone said that a lot of that sense of openness is actually very it's not real.
The terrain kind of like reins you in a little bit as far as like where you can go, and there are certain areas you can't get to until you've progressed to a certain point in the story where you find like rope that you can set up like rappelling lines.
Yeah.
But so far, like it has been pretty like it's been pretty real-ish in that. Another big problem too is that you have a map. Like you have a map of your whole sector, but you don't know you don't really know what anything is. Like only certain things are marked. There's a lot of different caches throughout the sector, and as you go open these cache boxes, they all will have like map sectionals that like someone has taken notes on and like drawn pads and said like, oh, over here is something. And as you open these up, you start notating your map. So your map becomes more complete as you play. But for the most part, a lot of this is like pretty open to you, but you do kind of get not like funneled, but like there are just it's more like think of like crossroads instead of like a big open field. It's like a lot of crossroads.
Yeah.
So you kind of end up getting funneled back to like these story places pretty frequently, but it feels a little bit more of a game than like an adventure game like say Oxenfree or something like that. You know.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Crispy.
Yeah.
Because you finished Oxenfree.
I did. I
Brad's
also
played some
Oxenfree.
Oxenfree.
Yes, I have.
I actually haven't officially put down Oxenfree, but I have.
You don't like Oxenfree?
No,
Nick?
I do. But like, I'm playing The Witness, which is completely engrossing me. And you know, it's just one of the. And I went to I made the personal decision to finish The Witcher, and that was
Which was a good decision.
Which was a good decision, but that was a time sink. So I haven't really had time to go back to Oxenfree. And this week we have Dying Light coming out. Next week it's Far Cry. Like, who knows when I'll get
The
back
week
to
after that
Oxenfree.
is Mirror's Edge.
I would say this too.
No, wait, it got pushed. Never mind.
Well,
It's March.
hang on, before we get
it's
too
March,
far away
not,
from
not yeah.
Before
We're
we get
good.
too far away from Firewatch, I do also want to note that Firewatch is kind of like a suspense like mystery game. Like there's something kind of like fucky going on. I just haven't gotten far enough to really get any details on it. But there have been some like significantly like something bad is happening.
Hoping it's
moments.
aliens because X-Files
I don't
ain't
think it's
doing
gonna
it
be
for me.
aliens.
Oh, maybe.
Oh my god, that new X-Files is.
I want to
so
believe.
weird.
That-
I don't.
Last week's episode was rad.
With the one
I heard
with
that.
Murray and the-
I heard last week's was really good, and this week's was terrible.
It was alright. It really feels more like a parody of X-Files.
Anyway, we have
I don't know.
we have Oxenfree.
Anyway, Oxenfree is playing right here on the screen, but it's okay. We can kind of let this roll for a while because most of the game is very similar to this. It is really dialogue
a
intensive.
lot of dialogue. Yeah.
There's not even that much gameplay in the game. A lot of it is moving your character around, tuning the radio at certain locations, and then the rest of it is this. The dialogue is
I
pretty
stoked the
good.
hell out of that
I mean,
song.
if you want to listen to like a bunch of teenagers talk to each other, like, which I'm not always.
I think it's real good.
Super hot on.
Compared to other games that have teenagers talking,
It's
I think this one kind of does it better than most of those.
It does. It does it better. It does it better than a lot of them, but it's still like teenage characters talking, and you're still kind of just like, oh,
Little
you're
Gilmore Girls.
you're stupid. But the dialogue is really good. The story that it's telling is pretty solid. But
It's
it almost
creepy.
feels like that amount of dialogue and just how much like talking there isn't even big enough for the game. And by that I mean not only the fact that they're isn't that much gameplay to the game. But also the fact that, like, the scenes that you're moving through when these characters are talking, they'll talk for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, and it'll take you, like, a minute to walk across the area you're in. So you end up getting to these transition points and just, like, waiting for them to finish. I mean, you could skip by it if you really wanted to, but, like, I was into it. I wanted to hear these characters interact. But the game world isn't even, like, big enough to contain, in a natural way, like, contain these conversations that they're having.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I feel
noticed
like
that
there's
too.
so much
and
I
it's possible
missed.
to accidentally, like, transition to a new area in the middle of someone's dialogue and completely miss the rest of the conversation.
For sure.
Oh, wow.
For sure.
Which is annoying because the dialogue that is there is really good.
I mean, a lot of it's pretty incidental, you know, like there's a scene here where Clarissa and Nona stay on the beach while everyone else goes to explore the cave, and then they start talking. And the first time I was playing, I stopped and listened, but, you know, they're talking about shit that doesn't even really matter. So eventually you kind of get to a point where you're like listening to what they're saying to be like, okay, is this related, or is this kind of just more fluff? Do I care? But of course, as the game goes on, there's less fluff. The characters become much more involved in what's going on.
Yeah.
Which is really weird. The thing that is going on is very weird. I don't know if
It involves triangles.
it involves
It is
triangles.
fucking weird.
Cosmic Doritos, as we were calling
Yeah,
them.
they do.
Yeah.
Cosmic Doritos. Yes,
Yes.
that's very good.
The Cool Ranch of Creation, like yes,
So, like, the last thing that I did in this game, I remember I was kind of up in the top left corner of the island. I was,
by the
Don't
bridge
talk too
stand?
much about it, because I went to the top right first.
Oh wait, so there's a point where
I went to
You have to
rescue the
choose to go.
quote-unquote B-I-T-C-H.
Clarissa, yeah.
Yeah.
Clarissa's the worst, but
course,
again,
I
once
saved her
you
first.
get into the story, like, you kind of have an understanding for why the way she is, but the game makes you understand
explains
why
it all?
she's a bitch, but they never really try to convince you to like her if you don't want
But
to.
that's
You know what
cool.
I mean? Which I think is kind of cool. They kind of just, like, let her be who she is, and then it's up to you to decide whether or not
you want to be
you
sympathetic
want
or
to
not.
save her life. Like,
Yeah. You got to choose whether you want to be sympathetic or not.
yeah, but,
Which is, you know, real life.
yeah, but she does have a pretty good reason for being just kind
Yeah.
of this huge bitch to the main character.
Does she explain it all?
No,
No. So how long did this game end up being for you,
Understood that
Crispy?
reference.
I understood the reference to it. Just wasn't that
Fucking Melissa Jones. Wait,
because I
Jones?
swear to God, that was my entire cast.
Oh, really?
Any scene where Clarissa was in it, it was just, oh, Clarissa explains it all. Like, it's a very clever joke, but I've heard it like 30 times.
Is it that
now,
clever?
so-
The fact that all of our brains went to Clarissa explains it all.
I mean, that's
pretty
the only
much
Clarissa
guaranteed.
any of us would know, really, right?
Jeez, he's like, I didn't even have an opinion about the joke.
But
I didn't want to hit the mic, so I was trying to.
but
But you hit the dog instead.
Yeah, I forgot he was
What
there.
were we saying?
Clarissa explains.
No, before that.
Melissa Joan
God
Hart.
fucking damn! This is why I didn't want to acknowledge it. I had
Yeah,
a good,
sorry.
I had a good train of
Sabrina
thought
the
going.
Teenage Witch.
Yeah.
The Alex Mack?
Anyway.
You were
Oh
talking.
yeah,
you were
I asked
talking-
you how long it ended up being.
Oh, 6 hours, I think. About.
Oh wow, so I'm probably not too far from the end. Maybe I should just. I was under the impression this was like a 10 to 12 hour game.
There are like hidden things you can find that will kind of pad
Yeah.
the experience, but that's not.
And
I didn't really feel
multiple
that
playthroughs can
necessary.
go very different ways from what I understand.
Dude, the endings apparently are like crazy different. Like, I got the ending, and there was a couple people in chat who had already finished the game, and they were telling me like what had happened in their games. And I mean, it is kind of shocking, like, how completely different the endings can be. But it all has to do with like your group of friends and like the kind of who
Maybe I should-
ends the game with you and like what relationships they have to each
I
other.
might just go ahead and finish this because if I wait too long, I'm gonna forget all the decisions I made.
You really
Probably,
should.
yeah.
You really. It's not that long. You're probably a lot closer than you realize, and it gets pretty. It gets pretty interesting by the
It
end.
was
There's
sufficiently creepy.
There's one really cool mechanic that they reveal at the end of the game that's like actually kind of gameplay-y a little bit. That I'm really hesitant to talk about.
Yeah.
But
You get a good
let me put it to you this way.
There's a
George
bomb-
also played this game. And the game gave me some insight to what George did. Directly, if that makes any
because
sense.
he's British.
All right,
No.
let's just leave
No,
it.
no, no. It's an actual like in-game thing. So So just finish the game, Nick.
That makes no sense, but I'm sure it will.
It will if you finish the game.
All right.
Especially if you see the credits.
It's not your fault. I think somebody dumped.
All right, that's weird.
It is really
But
good.
I am
Finish the game.
intrigued. I am intrigued. So you know what? I am gonna probably because I was talking to Nolan before we started the show, and we had kind of briefly talked about maybe doing some kind of broadcast event over the weekend where we play the Dying Light the following, because we're all very excited for that. But since I was probably gonna hold off until Saturday to play that, maybe I'll just squeeze in the rest of this over during the week as
Probably
well.
can.
So-
Right about here is where things like start to take a turn too.
Yeah,
So, like,
yeah.
this is like the weird part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doritos.
it's good. It's not, I don't know. As far as like these like weird kind of indie darlings that have been cropping up a lot lately, this isn't maybe the best one, but
I just don't
I'm
think.
really into certain types of stories that this fits very firmly within.
Yes.
Time travel.
Yeah.
There's time travel.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Yes.
Confirmed. Anyways, I
But
think
handled in a pretty smart way, actually.
let's talk about news. Right?
'Kay.
News things. There's things. What is going on? Why is there a GIF playing on the screen?
Oh, is that lady taking a picture of herself?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Oh.
We just need to continue.
You gotta take. God damn it, Chris Davis, you're distracting me. Let's talk about the news, guys. Who wants to go first? What's happened this
I'll
week?
go first. It's not even a thing. I'm just going to mention it. I mean, it's not.
It's not even a thing. I'm just
I
going to
didn't get a
mention
chance to
it.
answer and update the thing because I was watching a movie. But hey, David Gator, the lead writer on the Dragon Age series, and he's been around since Baldur's Gate era. BioWare left BioWare recently, but it came out today that he is now working at Beamdog. He's their lead creative director.
Beamdog. That's a studio I'm not familiar with.
Yeah,
Beamdog. Okay, so they're a studio that they're the ones who did the enhanced editions of Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, and they're also
obviously.
working on their own Baldur's Gate games.
Well, that's why you know
And
him.
like
Oh, so he got
so he is now
he found his way back to Baldur's Gate. Is what
exactly.
you're saying?
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
that's interesting because I've always been somewhat suspect of this studio, but it's nice to see they have some real BioWare talent working there. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Nolan.
I just wanted to bring up that they are, because Metal Gear Online, it's a game everyone loves, everyone plays.
Is that
a
still
lot of.
going?
For sure.
It still is.
Got such a huge player base.
And it has such a huge player base, so they're coming out with some DLC for it. A bunch of new maps, I think like at least three new maps.
But Kojima's not there anymore.
Yeah, and Quiet is now going to be a playable character in Metal Gear Online.
Yeah.
Nice.
Of course.
Can she
is.
like
Can
disappear
she do
and stuff?
her fucking like
I don't know.
dash thing?
It's all pay for DLC though, obviously.
Oh, of course.
So yeah, I mean, I definitely don't. I had high hopes for it. I had really high hopes for the multiplayer, and it's not that good,
Dude, I mean, as much potential as I think Metal Gear Online had, just watching how the last Metal Gear Online just completely floundered.
Yeah.
It's just I couldn't help but feel like the same thing was going to happen here. And then of course all the
Well,
Kojima shit happened, and I was just like,
I really
they're
feel
just-
like if the Kojima shit hadn't happened, this one would have stuck.
Might have, yeah.
You know what I
Probably.
liked? The original Metal Gear Online because
But, like,
it was so
the one
weird
for
back
3?
then.
I mean, when you think about it, like the game came out, Metal Gear 5 Phantom Pain came out proper. Everyone was like pissed off about Kojima, but of course they wanted to play it. So they've played it. They got it out of their system. Kojima has moved on, and I think most people probably have moved on at this point, right?
Probably.
Like, they've done everything they said they were going to do. They were like, Kojima made this game. We hate Konami, but we want to play his game because we love Kojima and we love Metal Gear. So let's play it and see how it panned out. And now that that's kind of in the past and Kojima's moved on, I just can't imagine there's a huge number of people sticking around to continue playing the multiplayer.
It's probably the case.
But hey, there's going to be paid DLC, so maybe they'll all come rushing back.
Exactly.
I could be wrong. Crispy,
Hey,
what's up with you?
okay, so maybe you heard about this. This was kind of a thing. Game trailers.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I used
a
to go to
bummer.
that
They're
site a
done.
lot.
They're done, and they like within the span of a day, like without any notice, they tweeted
They posted
out.
2 reviews that morning too.
They posted Firewatch and
They
and
rescored
XCOM 2, I think.
They also
They-
rescored Bloodborne.
Well, I was getting to that. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, as their final
dick.
act before closing their doors, they went back and awarded first ever in 14 years, their first ever perfect 10. And they rescored Bloodborne, which they had originally scored at like 9.6 or something like that.
Wow.
Oh, I kinda-
I would have rescored something else, but that's just me.
No, fuck you. I think it's well deserved. But yeah, like within a day, like they tweeted out, "Hey, today we're closing, we're done." And apparently the staff had only just found out that day
Yeah,
as
they
well.
found
Like it was
out that
news
day.
to everybody.
They all got laid off.
Yeah.
That is, I mean,
Which is-
that site's been around since 2002.
Which is crazy because, like,
I feel like it'd be a shoe-in because people love trailers.
Well, that's the
For
thing
games.
is companies no longer are giving exclusives to. They have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And they upload it there.
Yeah,
That's true.
they're
And
not
so-
like the YouTube of video games anymore.
Yeah, that's what they used to be. You know, back in 2001, 2002, YouTube wasn't around then.
Yeah.
So when you wanted to watch a game trailer, you went to game trailers.
But I mean, they were also
Oh,
one
yeah.
of the first people, like one of the first sites out there doing like kind of produced video features.
yeah, their
like
video reviews.
Their video reviews were
especially.
really
Like
good.
that was
yeah.
kind of like a big model in the industry.
They had the same guy doing the voice for all the
Yes,
video
yes,
reviews
they
for
did.
all these years
Yeah.
too.
Really? That same
Well,
guy still
wonder,
doing them?
wonder what he's gonna do now. He should voice something.
He's got a.
I don't know. I feel like
nest
something
egg.
something will rise from the ashes of game trailers, right? maybe.
Well, you'd like to hope so for sure. Oh, so one funny thing that I noticed is on that last evening they did a stream. I think it was when Krispy was streaming, but I was at work and I popped into the game trailer stream. It was like their farewell stream.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all there just
Just
talking about things. They were playing like GTA 3.
Yeah.
But the funny part is, chat was all like, they're all like, oh, whatever, be in chat when there's thousands of people in there watching something. But any time someone would subscribe, people would lose their mind. They're like, no. Because
throwing money away.
Yeah, because they're throwing money away. They're like, no, don't do that. And everyone's screaming, do a Patreon. And like people keep subscribing. And I think what happened is people were already subscribed, but when they show up in chat, their resub shows
Oh,
up.
yeah.
And just seeing all the people freak out was hilarious.
Wow.
That sucks. And it's funny. That
Sad
sucks.
news.
Yeah.
All right, last thing I wanted to talk about this week was there are talks. There are talks,
How many
Talks.
quote
How many?
unquote, like 2 or 3 talks. I don't
Okay.
know. Talks at the higher ups at Capcom,
Oh.
Oh god.
which Lord knows.
Capcom, we love
Here we
Capcom.
go.
Lord
we
knows
go.
what that means.
Alicia,
there are
is
talks
she-
to bring back or to revisit the Onimusha franchise. I don't even know why this, like,
All I
It's-
confirms is that there's no secret Onimusha coming out
yeah,
at E3 or the next E3.
it pretty much ensures that like this is like the first time they're like maybe we should do this. Like,
Yeah.
Which is crazy talk.
it is crazy talk.
It's crazy that it's been this long and they're just now talking about
like
it.
they pretty much like a developer had to pretty much beg them to let them do a remake of Resident Evil 2, which is another game that
But
people
see-
have been wanting to do for
But
them
see,
to do forever.
that's the thing, Nick. Like last time we heard something about, hey, there's people talking about it. It was with the Resident Evil 2 remake, and that's
Yeah.
actually happening. So this is actually probably a pretty good sign. What the hell happened to the nose of my sweet tooth?
Dude, it's been like that for months.
Yeah, it's been over there like
I
that
thought
for a
you
long
did
time.
that.
Yeah.
Someone ripped off the nose.
Dude,
It's
it's
probably-
been like
yeah.
that for a long
This guy
time.
right here. Sorry.
I remember thinking, why would Brad do that?
God, way to derail a conversation.
What a
Anyway,
dickhole.
anyway.
We're talking about
Onimusha.
Hyde. He is a dickhole.
Onimusha is a favorite of mine for a very long time. I played the first Onimusha probably 10 times. Loved Onimusha 2. I liked 3 a lot too. It's just,
I remember
it's like
I had found out David had not played Onimusha, but he had it
yeah.
because he had everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, you need to play that. And he beat it in one sitting. Because that first Onimusha is not a very
Dude,
long game.
I got to a point where I could beat the first Onimusha in like 4 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a long game. Second one is significantly longer, and 3 is even longer than that, I think. So
3's pretty long.
it got progressively longer as it went. But like the one thing that trilogy of games, and I'll just leave it at trilogy because We all know how I feel about that fourth
Well,
one.
no, there's also the Smash Brothers game
Oh, God damn it.
and the Tactics game for GBA.
Onimusha proper was a phenomenal game. It was like classic Resident Evil with a new coat of paint and like in a totally different setting and time period and like theme, but like it had a lot of those trappings that made Resident Evil so great back in the day. And that is fucking exciting. So I would love to see them revisit this franchise. I think a lot of people have been waiting for it for years. Maybe if this happens, we'll maybe get another Dino Crisis next. Who knows? Let's just keep this trend going.
It's so...
But the point is, like, this made headlines because Onimusha, and everyone, anytime the word Onimusha pops up, people want to make it a big deal. But like the truth is, like, this is literally just like someone told somebody else that, hey, I heard them talking about it. Mm-hmm. Like,
Down the grapevine.
you know, it might not mean anything, and they could very well not do anything with it, or they could just give it to Platinum Games, let them make it.
No. Give it to From Software.
Fuck yeah.
I miss when Onimusha... I mean, I think Onimusha 3 is my favorite, but I do miss when Onimusha really did kind of feel like...
Resident Evil.
Like a slightly more action-y Resident Evil game. I want it to be horror again.
I mean, honestly, I think that if they want to do that, they should shape it off Onimusha 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Onimusha 2 is pretty cool, though. I like Onimusha 2 a lot.
Sure. I mean, it's probably my least favorite in a great trilogy. But a lot of other people would say maybe it's their favorite. So it's just
I think it's my favorite purely from like just because of the production values and like the improvements they made to 1, but like 1 is like the only one I would really consider to be like a survival horror almost. So take that as you will. It's a cool game. If any of y'all haven't played it, which I know Nolan admitted to me earlier, he hasn't touched it. Have you played it? Krispy
that
hasn't
would be
played
a
it.
series you could actually like play through in like a reasonable amount of time. Good catch-up series. Just don't play the fourth one.
Good to know.
Yeah, don't play Dawn of Dreams. That shit's garbage.
Wait, which one? What one takes place in modern day Paris?
3.
3 with Jean Reno.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Well, they have his likeness, but not his voice.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
So it looks
That's a
it's
weird
Jean
situation.
Reno,
Yeah.
but the voice is
Not Jean Reno.
Hey!
Did he not record?
Really?
it, or-
yeah. I don't know. It's just weird.
That's so weird. Wow.
Or maybe if you listen in French or something, it's him.
Oh yeah, maybe.
That's all we got for news. Nolan, you're looking all relaxed over there. Are you?
Yeah, I'm ready for a nap, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
No, that's not what I was
I'm
going
ready
to ask.
for the long nap.
Dying.
What?
He's getting there.
Oh, I just mean sleep.
Oh, that's not the long nap, Brad.
Oh,
Maybe you
no.
should go look up what that means.
The big sleep.
I'm ready. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for the big sleep.
A coma?
Sure. It's time for the community, Nolan.
Oh, shit! It's community!
Way too much enthusiasm for me.
Woo!
I'm so tired.
This is the best part of the show because it's about our listeners. It's about you, but you are what makes us.
You complete us.
Yeah.
Or something.
So, speaking of completing us, no new patrons this week.
No new patrons.
What
No!
the fuck?
So that's okay, though. We still appreciate all the patrons we do have.
We do.
They
Of course.
are our muse, our flame.
Our desire.
Okay, that too. Sure, why not? So it is February.
It is.
9th?
Yep.
9th.
Yep. Correct.
And so our supporter of the month is... Shit, I had it and I lost it.
God damn it, Nolan.
Hold on. Farun 2.
Farun.
Pulled that out of my butt. Farun 2. The game he chose for us to play was XCOM.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
I'm gonna play that. It's a little frustrating
I
because
don't
I
have
want
it.
to get into XCOM, but I can't get into it because I have XCOM 2
Yeah.
to play. But I will. It's just I almost wish that this was a choice for.
How does that hold up to like new XCOM?
Well, I mean, it's a different game.
It's a different style.
There are
game.
aspects of XCOM that I really like. Like I really like the way they handled line of sight in that game back in the day, and
It's definitely been one that's always been on my list to play.
like you'd have to physically position your dudes to get like a good vantage point, so you can see aliens coming from different directions. So you had to like, face your dudes certain ways.
Interesting.
Nice. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and move into questions. Every week, our patrons ask us questions.
Questions.
And we answer them. It's that
I haven't read any of the
simple.
questions this week, I'll be honest. I usually screen them. Haven't read any of them. This is going to be exciting.
All righty.
Let's go.
First question from Landon.
Bring it on, Nolan.
Square Enix said that Nier Automata would come out in 2016. Do you believe that?
I
think,
do.
I think so, yeah.
It's
and the reason
platinum.
is because it's platinum.
Yeah, it's platinum. They pump games out like crazy.
Yeah.
Now, part of me is also a little nervous about that because while like Transformers and this new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game looks good, and the Transformers game was pretty good apparently, they're both developed rather quickly,
Yeah,
and
they
put
were.
out within a year of each other too, and it's
Yep.
kind of like, you know, while those games may be good, they're not like over the moon good.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of
Correct.
worried that maybe, I mean, who knows how long this Nier game's been in development though. So
It's true.
So
What they
maybe-
what they showed us when they first showed the game, it was super early. It
Yeah.
looked like that game had some quite a bit
So
under its belt.
I'm just
already.
hoping they've had a little more time than like that year-long development cycle they've been working on in the past year or two, and I think it'll be out this year.
It's a weird project
Totes.
to begin with.
All right, skipping that question. Next question.
Oh man, I gotta look at it now.
It's from 4Player Network.
What?
It asks, who's going to buy The Division at launch other than that weirdo Chris Davis?
I wonder who asked that. I'm not gonna buy it at launch.
Neither am I.
Not at launch.
Nope.
I gotta try this.
That is
beta.
definitely a
The
wait and see
Clancy
kind of game for me.
Maybe Gamefly it.
You know, after y'all play the public beta, which is coming out soon, y'all might change y'all's mind.
It's
'cause I've heard
possible.
some good things.
Maybe
It's possible.
You heard about them dark zones?
that's something.
Yep.
That's something I could maybe get into.
Yep. Next question from Ryan Does Art. Would you rather have a game with a perfect story but terrible characters, or perfect characters with a terrible story, and why? That's tough. I mean, I guess I would probably do better story over characters. Because even I think there's plenty of games that even when you like a character, if you have no drive to keep playing it, it's kind of like, I like this guy, but this story sucks. Versus, I really like where this story's going. Don't really like the people who are in it, but I like where that's my preference.
You know, I'm going to exact opposite for me, but for the exact same reason. In that, the worst thing in the world to me is a halfway compelling story where like I really just don't give a shit if the hero wins. Like I don't care if anyone dies. I don't care. There's no stakes because I don't care about the people. You know, like a game. Okay, so here, Firewatch, perfect example. I don't really know what the story of that game is, but the characters, like Henry, is compelling and deep enough that like I want to see what happens to him.
Well, that wasn't
I
the
wanna
question.
see
The
what-
question is the story is terrible.
No, okay, fine, but
Not
even
knowing
if-
what a
even if
story
it-
is and knowing the story is terrible.
First of
is
all,
different.
having a terrible story or having terrible characters is a pretty significant blow to a game.
Oh, I
Either
agree.
way.
I agree.
But I think stronger characters, especially since it's a game and this has a lot to do with like, like you interacting with those characters, you being those characters. That seems a little more important. There are plenty of games that are great that really don't even have stories.
Not to mention a lot of stories, especially a lot of the stories that I tend to gravitate towards are character focused, character like built around their characters. So it's kind of hard to separate the two. I'm trying to think of an example of a game that I loved, whose story I,
I think
loved.
it depends on the type of game. It
It's-
depends on the type of story.
It would be really tricky to have like great characters and a terrible story, or vice
No,
versa.
I know what you're
Like,
saying.
That seems like a really rare scenario.
Well, I've
Which is why the
actually.
question was asked.
Well, I'm curious where you stand, like next week. By the time you finished Firewatch, because I've read some reviews. Like the reviews have been very positive, but there have been a couple that have been very low, and it was that like
The mystery
there's some
ending.
great characters here with some great writing and some great acting, but like I am not happy what happened with the story. So
yeah. I mean, it's a mystery story, so I'm already like bracing myself for disappointment because that's what happens like 9 times out of 10 in mysteries. It's never as good as you
Well,
think.
the thing is, like a mystery, the journey is almost always more satisfying than the discovery.
For sure.
All right, next question from Sean K. So about 2 weeks ago, you guys did a fuck, marry, kill for the Star Wars ladies.
Wait, that wasn't the question you skipped?
No,
We did?
Yeah.
But let's be honest, everyone really wants to know, fuck, marry, or kill Poe, Han, or Finn. I don't know if they included Han. I think that should be Poe, Kylo, or Finn.
Yeah.
Well, I heard Kylo has an 8 I'm sorry.
What?
Never mind.
Because it's the hard thing is this has 2 characters.
say?
Well, I guess 3 characters from this movie. The last week we did the main female leads from each of the
I got mine.
trilogies.
If we're going with those 3,
Poe, Han, and Finn.
yeah.
Okay, we'll stick with that.
I would marry Poe because he just seems so warm and loving. I would fuck Finn because he seems like he's fun for a little while, and I would kill Han Solo.
Because he's old.
I'm the opposite.
He's old. He doesn't need to be in these movies anymore.
I would fuck Poe, and I would marry Finn, and I would kill
valid.
Han.
That's valid.
Yeah,
What?
I think
Why
I'd do
y'all
that.
hating on
He's an
Han?
old. He's gonna die soon. He's an old man. I don't know. I mean, I think Finn. I like his upbeat attitude.
Yeah.
Finn. He seems like he'd be fun. Like Poe, he seems kind of reckless, and I don't know.
Poe's passionate. He's not reckless.
Are people in
He's
chat
passionate.
genuinely
He's-
confused about my joke about I heard Kylo Ren has an 8-pack? Because that would shock me.
Oh, was that the Saturday Night
That's
Live?
an
I was
SNL
quoting the
reference.
Saturday Night Live skit. God
Yeah.
damn it. People were like, Nick. And I was like, what are you talking about? It fit perfectly. That's what she said. Sorry.
Droids.
Droids. Like,
I'd
next
stick
week-
BB-8 up my ass.
He would sit on his head, and your legs would be out, and he'd be rolling around. Yeah.
you just spin around.
C-3PO would just be blowing into my ear.
I thought he would fist you with his red arm.
Yeah.
Well, I already have a BB-8 in my ass, so
I feel
I think
like
we're done with the ass stuff.
Oh my
all
god.
it-
And I'd have that little grabby hand R2-D2 uses to like pull the thing from Yoda, the flashlight from Yoda. Just be jerking me off.
What is wrong with you guys?
Well, we're getting into this.
wait.
So I'd fuck all of them.
would the pincers be like grasping your shaft, or would
Oh
they
my God.
wrap around?
Got-
And while she's playing the Princess Leia
Next
video
question.
and jerking me off.
Next question from Nathan
That
M.
escalated quickly.
Which character class would you be in XCOM 2?
Ooh,
That's tough.
be a fucking ranger because it's got a fucking sword and that shit's cool.
I haven't played XCOM yet, so I can't tell
Specialist,
you.
because you get that fucking like little
gremlin?
drone thing that
The
flies
gremlin?
around.
Yeah, you get bored of that in a day.
I don't know.
Fuck you.
For me, it's in between ranger and sniper. I really do like the sniper.
Sniping's hard though.
Yeah.
No one wants to be like a fucking grenadier.
Yeah. It just seems so. like-
Grenadier?
no, it's grenadier.
It's grenadier.
Grenadier.
Well,
what does
that's a
grenadier
classic-
mean?
That's a classic word.
So it's
Really?
it's this grenade
It's
specialist.
French,
I
I believe.
Oh, I
Because
don't.
grenade is
I
derived
don't speak
from-
French.
But they also have that
You
that
speak
chain
English,
gun,
though,
which
right?
is pretty sweet.
No,
The Gatling
what?
gun.
no. All right, next question from Sunny.
Be a snake man.
How did you meet your significant other?
Pass.
I used to work with her.
I met mine at PAX.
Chris Davis says I was born with her.
Known her all my life. I think he's.
It's
His
nobody.
hand.
Known her all my life.
His right hand.
It's a masturbation.
It's a and then he just spells it out. It's a masturbation joke, Brad.
Oh, I thought it was like a twin sister joke.
Oh my god. Yeah, I met mine at PAX.
I met mine at a pool party.
Yeah.
Pool
I remember
party.
that story.
Pool
Yep.
party.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
Pool party.
That's just so y'all know. That's a good story. But y'all aren't. Gonna
I have no idea what the story is, so I'm only assuming
you
like,
should ask him off the feed. It's
oh,
pretty good.
her top popped off, and I knew I was in love. Something like that.
All right, next question from Sean. Has a game ever put you in a bad mood for an extended period of time?
The Witness.
Oh god, I knew you were gonna say that.
Dude, there's plenty
Dude,
of
that
games.
game is.
Dark
Yeah.
Souls. Yeah.
Speaking of which, how's Darkest Dungeon going, Crispy?
Darkest Dungeon. No, Darkest Dungeon is pretty good so far. I think
that game's rad.
the RN. Yeah, I'm into it. It's really cool. The RNG gods have been somewhat forgiving so far, though. So
You know,
You know, a game that used to really piss me off? Fucking like Burnout Takedown. Like any of the Burnout games where, you know, because they had really bad rubber banding AI and
Rubber Band is the fucking worst.
it was so hard to see because those games were moving so fast.
Yeah.
And, you know, you'd fucking just wreck shit like right before the end of the race. I mean, a lot of racing games do that to me. Fucking Motorstorm pisses me
you
off.
barely clip a pole in your last place.
Yeah, racing games drive me
Yeah.
crazy.
my answer. This is a very recent example. I was in a pretty bad mood this weekend after I finished The Witcher.
Why?
Yeah. Well, because his decisions
Because
where
of
the game
because
went.
of the romantic decision, and I was really bummed.
I mean, that like, come on.
But I knew.
Carol
But the thing
above
is,
that.
I knew it was coming for a very long time. In fact, part of that is probably one of the reasons why I didn't finish the game until now. Is because I knew what was going to happen.
You knew it was coming or not coming.
Exactly.
There's plenty of games that have like Souls games that have fucking Bloodborne. You know, the watchdog of the old lords. Like fuck that fucking.
Why'd you?
I have some good news for you, Nick.
Fuck that fucking
that?
boss fight. That put me in a shitty mood for a really long time.
Yeah, you know what? Just broadcasting Souls games.
No,
will lead
yeah,
to
that's
finishing
true.
me.
That's true too.
I have some good news. Play that DLC, and your romantic woes will be no more.
That is true. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's what I was trying to get that hint to you when we were recording the dinner
Oh.
time without telling you exactly.
threesome.
Anyway.
Why'd you have to open that wound, Krispy?
I don't know.
Anyway.
I already tried that. Been there. Tried that.
All
failed.
right. Raphael asks, think of a game you didn't like last year. What could have been added or changed to improve the game and make it opinion on it?
Characters that I cared about in Metal Gear Solid 5. I was sorry, that's not fair because that asked me to think of a game that I didn't like, and I did like Metal Gear Solid 5.
What games that
I'm trying to think of a
not
game I
like
played last year that I didn't like.
I like.
Well, maybe you
I liked a
didn't
lot
play
of
it
the stuff I
because-
played last year.
Well, I think of a game you didn't play because you didn't like it. And
Like I
what could-
stopped playing.
Yeah, well, no, or even like a game that you chose not to play because of some certain aspect of the game and changed that aspect, and maybe then you would have played it.
I mean, Resident Evil Revelations 2 comes to mind. Played that. I don't know what I would add to that to make it better because it wasn't really a matter of it missing something.
For as much love as Splatoon gets, I think that single player was really kind of lazy in some ways. In that it didn't live up to the standards of most first party Nintendo single players, and I think they could have really knocked it out of the water, but they kind of didn't.
I also didn't like the controls of Splatoon. As a matter of fact, the aiming was just fucking weird. Never got used to it.
I got a few. Saints Row: Get Out of Hell.
Oh, well,
I
that-
really fucking wanted to like that DLC, and it just like the story wasn't the best. The entire world, that's the organization of it, wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Like I immediately picked up that game and played it the day it came out, and then immediately put it back down like
It was
very
okay,
sorely.
but
after.
it wasn't great.
Yeah, it's like it didn't blow me away like
The
Saints
musical
Row.
It
number
didn't
was so
blow
good.
your skirt up.
Exactly.
I could have said that musical number would have been one of my favorite moments of the year if they didn't release it all as a trailer
Right?
before the DLC.
Right? Dragon Ball Xenoverse. I really wanted
were
that
so
game to
into
be good.
that.
I really and
I
it
almost
just
picked that up several times when it was on a Steam sale because y'all were so into it.
it's really fucking hard. Like absurdly hard and weird, and I don't really understand why it's hard.
Super obtuse.
Yeah.
The difficulty spike on that.
Doesn't
It's-
strike you as a game that should be
Vicious.
All of the
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z games
Apotheon was a game I really wanted to like, but when I played it, it's just the controls were kind of weird, like how you attack.
That's one I regret not playing more of, though, because I did kind of like what I played.
No, I
just ran into
definitely
a lot
enjoy
of-
it. I'm just saying it wasn't.
lot of
There were some
bugs.
things I would have changed about it to make it better. Yoshi's Woolly World, they could have not made the game. Would have been so much better.
Yeah, fuck that game. It's boring.
All right, final question for the evening from Michael. Best game to play when drunk?
Oh.
Katamari
Mount your
Damacy
friends.
all the way.
Mount your friends.
Mount
Or
Your Friends
Mount
is
Your
good.
Friends.
Mount Your Friends is good.
I'm gonna stick with Katamari Damacy.
Probably just any like multiplayer that's good with people around.
Joust.
Joust, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Show-
any
that's also a dangerous one to play.
Yeah, that's true.
Dude, that was dangerous to play sober.
Well, yeah, you could have the controller in one hand and your beer in the other, and that's
I remember I was playing
Or you could just play with beer bottles
Yeah, there
instead
you
of
go.
Assassin's Creed 4, getting kind of tipsy, hanging out with the dudes, singing the drinking songs in the towns.
Caesar?
yeah. Singing the sea shanties.
No, not the sea shanties.
Oh, at the bars and
people
stuff.
at the
Yeah,
bar.
the pub or whatever. Yeah, the tavern. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like you say, mount your friends. Any kind of multiplayer game like that. Smash is fun. Whatever. But yeah, so that was the final question for this week. Any of our patrons are you just go on the patron activity feed every week. We post a thread. You can ask us any question you want, even if it's weird, sexual.
We might not answer.
May not answer. The
I said
sexual
they
ones.
can ask it. I didn't say
They
we're
can
gonna
ask
answer.
whatever they want. We may not answer them all.
Exactly. So I was trying to think. The other announcement I want to make for stuff that's going on is our board game night is on the 23rd. It's
Yes.
2 weeks from
Not next
today.
week, but the week after that.
Correct. So 2 weeks from today, we won't be having a podcast. We will be doing a board game night.
I will take this opportunity because we
after
didn't do
anything cool?
we didn't do a bump spot this week, so I'll take this opportunity to briefly mention the camping trip video, which has been live for patrons. If you're a patron, you can check out the video on our activity feed. We'll be making it live on our YouTube channel shortly. I think on Friday. We have a top 5 video coming down the pipe, and we just released a new dinner time podcast that we recorded last weekend at the Texas Chili Parlor.
Yep.
That was pretty good chili too.
Yeah. I have another video that's been live or not live, but it's on YouTube for a couple of days. Just haven't gotten a thumbnail for it. As soon as I get a thumbnail, it'll
That's
go
probably
live.
on me,
Yeah.
which I'll get done. Anyways,
What time of the show is it, Nick?
it's time to wrap up with the 4-player minute.
I'll go
Brad.
first. My hype is for Fire Emblem Fates. I like Fire Emblem a lot. There's a new one coming out soon. I'm going to be playing Birthright and then Conquest and then the third thing. But I'm super psyched for it. One that I'm not as hyped about as my sweat. That is, I'm game flying Project X Zone 2.
Really?
I really didn't like the first one, but people keep telling me that the charm of those games is not the gameplay, but it's in how those crazy characters interact with each other. And, Heihachi wants to hire Phoenix Wright as his lawyer because, organized crime needs lawyers. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be cool. I'll try to stream it out, possibly. I don't know when I'm going to get my game anyways. But my fuck you goes to me because I had something in my GameFly queue. I don't know why I put it there. I don't know when I put it there.
That's the worst.
But they shipped me a copy. For your viewing pleasure, they shipped me a copy of
Tobunobu Itagaki.
Itagaki's classic, The Devil's Third.
Classic.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So I will be getting that and playing some of that on the feed. And my thank you for the week goes to, of course, Vunik. Vunik, who came through, had extra code for XCOM 2. I was worried that it'd have to be like The Witness, and I'd be only playing it during the day because I'm, playing.
Scared to play at night.
Well, no, I can't play it at night because these guys are usually playing at night,
He's using one of our copies of The Witness.
Yeah. So I've only been playing it during the day.
That sucks.
But now I can play XCOM 2 anytime I want. So
Cool.
I guess that's my real sweat is XCOM 2.
Nolan,
What up?
hit us with your 4-player minute.
Yeah, my hype. I am really hyped for this weekend for our Dying Like the Following dual stream. I'm really excited to play the following.
I'll get some details up on the site tomorrow.
No, well, yeah, we can. I do have. There's a post on
We
the
got to plan it first.
calendar event.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll get some more details going on. But yeah, I'm excited for that. My sweat is that for Christmas I got my brother a subscription to GameFly. My brother's 15. And I was texting him the other day, and I was like, hey, what game did you get? And he's like, oh, I got The Witcher 3. And I was like, that game might be a little too mature.
Wait, he's only 15? Even he's 15? That's fine.
You do
Like a 15-year-old this day and age?
Well, he's gonna learn real quick. He's gonna learn real quick the importance of making adult decisions in romantic relationships.
It's not so
Not
much
fucking around.
Exactly.
It's the fact that
because trust me, the consequences are harsh.
I don't know if his mom's cool with him, just paying some coins, some crowns to fuck a lady.
I'll be
whenever
honest.
he
I only
wants.
did that twice.
He's 15.
He'll do it a couple.
He'll do it a few more times.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's we'll see. I mean, I think he can handle it, but I texted him. I was like, just don't play it when your mom's around. Just maybe if she's
Maybe just don't Don't pay for prostitutes.
He's a 15-year-old. Maybe
Don't
you
pay
need to
for
explain
prostitutes
to
when
him
your mom's
that
around.
He can't bang both Triss and Yennefer.
I should explain that to him. Yeah, I
He needs
should.
to be a grown-up about
Yeah,
this situation.
I'll text
Trust-
him.
Take
I'll,
it from
I'll
me.
text him. Don't even fuck. You just don't mess with Triss. You know,
Let him make his own decision. He's a man. He's a grown man.
Never
He's
trust.
not
Let
a
him-
grown man. He's 15.
He's
Never
15.
trust.
He's
on
gonna
his
try
way.
to fuck them both.
He's on his way. Let him find out the hard way, okay? And let him make his own damn decisions.
Don't mess with that Triss Strange.
Because you know what? I'm not even
Never.
necessarily pissed that I didn't get with Yennefer. Ultimately, I'm pissed that I didn't get with either of them. I wish it. I don't wish that I had.
Nick
picked
just went
Yennefer
for all.
instead of Triss.
The problem with Nick is he
I
went
wish
for
that I
all
had
the
just
strange
stayed-
he could get, and at the end he ended up with no strange.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In the
I wish I had just
Probably
kept.
even made a pass at
Look
Siri.
at him. Look at him.
Fucking horn dog.
Over there. Oh,
I
he
mean-
killed Kira.
Yeah,
Right?
I,
Oh my god.
Right?
What
Dude,
the
I fucked
fuck?
Kira.
Yeah, I
Why'd you
killed
kill
her.
her?
Yeah.
I killed her. Yeah, fuck her.
You're
Dude,
nuts.
fuck you.
Why?
You're evil.
Because she fucking betrayed me.
Oh.
Anyway,
Yeah,
that's
you know.
sidetracking my 4-player minute.
She had a
Every-
problem,
No, sorry.
and rather than help her solve her
No, I
problem,
tried to help
you
her.
just killed her.
No, I didn't just.
All right,
I didn't just
moving
walk
on,
up and kill her
moving
upon her
on.
asking.
Moving
You
on.
just have to expect that from a sorceress.
My thank you goes to Chai Tai for making all of us in XCOM. We each have our own character and bio. So thank you for doing that. Appreciate it. I still haven't found myself in my game. I only have Brad.
Yeah, what am I?
You're a ranger.
Oh, but that's what I wanted to be.
Yep, I figured you would.
Oh, am
So I
I a
made-
badass ranger? What are my colors? What are my colors?
They're blue, whatever Chai made them, like blue and like something, or I don't remember. The thing is, you're not badass yet because I haven't had you for that long.
Oh, come
so you've
on.
only been on like 3 missions.
Train me up, man.
I have been. Calm down, killer.
Wait, am I there?
No, I said I have Brad, Jeff, and George. That's all I
I want to
have.
be a stealth-focused ranger, by the way.
I will keep that in mind.
By the way, I'm letting Vunic pick his skills.
and then my hype goes to fucking Deadpool. Because we are seeing Deadpool Thursday at 11 p.m. and I could not be more excited to see that. In fact, I've been reading the Deadpool comic I bought in anticipation.
Sweet.
Which one?
The collection or whatever, like
Just like the omnibus?
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Wait, so is it starting with like old Rob Liefeld Deadpool?
Let's for not now.
Oh, because that's terrible. Anyway, my hype is for No Man's Sky.
Of course.
My sweat is for the Division beta because I do actually really want to like this game. But it could go either way. We'll see.
The Clance Z.
The Clance Z. Yeah, you know what? Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'll be into it. Maybe it'll be terrible.
The jumping jacks animation is incredible.
Really. My thank you is actually really more of a secondary hype. So we'll say like thank you to Campo Santos for Firewatch. I mean that game is just fucking crazy, man. I can't get it out of my head. Especially for like the little touches, like the whole camera mode thing. It's just really well done. And then my fuck you for the week goes to Jonathan Blow. We get it. You're better than us. Thank you.
Oh man, don't be salty,
The thing is,
Krispy.
he knows that, so
You're
like,
being salty.
I'm being salty. It's completely no. Witness is a fantastic game. He's a great designer, and that game makes me hate myself.
just have your way with that blow up doll. It'll make you feel better.
Oh my god.
Just stab it a couple times.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead. My hype is Dying Light. The Following. That's coming out. This it's at home. It's waiting for me right now. I'm ready for it, but I'm gonna hold off until Saturday because we're gonna do a big dual stream event for it Saturday. So if you're hanging out Saturday, you want to watch us on the stream, and you don't have anything to do, come check us out. It's gonna be a big Dying Light extravaganza co-op dual stream. It'll be fun. There'll be buggies and zombies and
I started playing Dying Light.
Yeah, he
Jesus.
did.
With
Him and
Carlos.
Carlos did, yeah.
Why did you talk about that?
No, we didn't play that.
Yeah, they
long.
didn't play
All
a
right.
whole lot.
We'll talk about it. We'll check in with
He
you
set
next
me
time
on
on that.
fire with the Molotov.
Wonderful. Let's see. My fuck you of the week goes to Jeffrey in The Witness.
Fuck Jeffrey.
Fuck Jeffrey. Seriously,
I haven't
fuck
had the pleasure
that
yet.
piece. But
Can't wait to hate him.
but my
You will.
sweat is that I am loving The Witness. Like I'm loving it. It's I'm in my zone. I ended up like this game I thought was going to be stressing me out, but it's having kind of the opposite effect. I ended up playing it for like 6 hours straight on Sunday.
Solved 3 puzzles.
Solved 4 puzzles. No, I'm at about 200 right now. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. My
4.
worry is that as the game gets, as I get deeper into the game, it's going to get progressively harder to a point where I'm going to reach a choke point where I'm suddenly going to have hard time progressing, which it sounds like it's going to happen.
Yeah, it will.
And I don't want this high that I have on The Witness right now to fade. Because right now, if I continued on this trajectory that I'm on right now, The Witness has the potential to be one of my favorite puzzle games ever. If not a contender for like one of my favorite just games. So I don't want this high to end. So I'm a little worried about that. And I'm going to pull a Krispy here because I'm also going to... my hype.
Way to be.
Another hype. Second hype this week, but it's also probably going to be my hype for the next 5 months.
God damn it, Nick.
Sorry,
God
guys.
damn it.
I'm sorry.
No Man's Sky?
Jason Bourne.
I
am...
At least mine's a game.
It is officially my most... it's probably... I've never been this excited for a movie, I think, in my entire
Isn't it
life.
funny that it's called Jason Bourne? Like,
Not really. I was having this conversation on Twitter because...
No.
You know why they're doing it, right?
Because they wanted to let people know, hey, Jason. Like,
it's not Jeremy Renner.
They should have just called it Matt Damon.
Sure. Whatever. That would make a lot of sense, but hey.
The Bourne, Matt Damon.
By the way, I did watch The Bourne Legacy last night with Jeremy Renner. Not a bad movie. Just not Matt Damon. Anyways, yes. So I'm probably going to say that probably every episode for the next 6 months until I see that movie. So I apologize ahead of time. And I think that's our show.
Cool.
We ready?
Yep, goodbye.
All right, that's it. Goodbye.
Alrighty.
Thanks, guys.
Slow fade. Thank you for listening. 4playernetwork.com is the website. Of course, we'll be back next week. What are we talking about next week? We'll talk about Firewatch more. Now that by that
following.
time we will have all played it quite a bit.
Talk about the Devil's Third. We'll talk about the Hitman beta.
I'm gonna check in with you on Dying Light. Are you planning on playing any more Dying Light for the next show?
I can't. I mean, now is just not a good time.
Son of a
It's never going to be a
You
good
waited
time,
too
Brad.
long.
That's not true. It's not true. There are periods where I don't have much to play.
And we'll talk about the following. 'Cause
Yep.
we will have played a bunch of that by
Yep.
that time as well. God,
What about? Okay, sorry. How come none of y'all care about Yarny? Chris Davis got to all of y'all. No one's gonna play Unravel.
I will.
Got good reviews.
I would love to play it. It's just not a priority.
Yeah, that's low on my list.
4Player podcast has an official stance. Fuck Yarny.
And support open carry.
Exactly.
Dude, I think we should make a shirt that says "Support Open Carry Hates Yarny" because that's fucking.
You know,
priceless.
if we made support open carry shirts and sold them around here, they'd probably sell.
They would sell well, but I don't think we should.
Yeah. I
I'm
don't-
so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Chris Davis threatened us all. We're not allowed to talk about Unravel on this podcast, or he'll never produce one of our podcasts ever again. I'm so sorry.
I think we should
We
make.
want to talk about Yarny. We really do.
I think we should make Chris Davis
We'll get
broadcast
to
Yarny.
it. We'll get to it. We got all year.
What's that game actually called? Unravel.
Unraveled.
I'm gonna start calling it Yarny. Anyways,
Chris Davis, you should do. The podcast is over, right?
thank you for listening. We'll catch you guys next week. Now it's over.